Okay, we're live.
All
Welcome to
right.
episode 7 of the Zenspath podcast. I am the host, Jeremy Powers, and joining me, I guess starting on the left of the screen, we've got my friend Brent,
What's up?
and we also have Caleb joining
Hello.
us from the
I'm back.
notification hour.
Well, might not want to talk about that till we can actually get episodes going again, but that might not ever happen. So just shh.
Well, you're always welcome here, Caleb.
Fine.
We'll just
Thank
we'll
you.
just carry the love back over to this side. So
We may end up doing this.
that's fine. I have no problem with that. We'll need to get Rachel on here sometime too. If she'd been available, I would have probably brought her in today too.
Right.
All right, so pretty much as everyone's talking about right now, this whole episode, I know it's the third one we've done, I'm sorry, but we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch.
Switch.
Yep, because first we had a bunch of rumors, then Nintendo gave us a short trailer that we just salivated over for months, and now they've actually given us a bunch of information, and some of us are confused. So
Well,
we're just going to move on from there and kind of go with it. But so we've finally seen the Switch. We know the price, the release date, the release games. We know not all of the stats, but we know a lot of them. We know all the little
Great deal.
secrets.
Yeah.
we still
But-
don't even know what kind of Integra is inside the thing, but I'm sure we'll find somebody will pay $300 to get the Switch and then tear it open. I
Yeah, or
guarantee you.
NVIDIA will just tell them. They might unveil more of it later, but it's kind of crazy. Like we're finally getting the announcement of all the information, and we're just over a month out to getting the console. Because
Yeah.
we'll jump into that for release date. It is officially coming in North America, most of Europe, South America, Canada, Japan, China, and like a bunch of other places, all at the same day on March 3rd of
Which is great.
2017.
I like that. It's a
Yeah.
good idea.
I was honestly thinking it'd be like the end of the month or something. So
Beginning
Yeah.
of the month.
March 3rd, we'll have a whole new system to play around with. And
Well-
I will actually have one on release.
this is the first one you've ever done too, isn't
First ever.
I'm debating whether I should get it on release or not, because there is one thing I want to talk about. I only have 12 minutes to be on the show today, which is fine.
it? Well, Caleb, you go ahead and
Um,
take the lead and go for it then, my friend.
There only seems to be, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there only seems to be about like 3 games at launch. How many like directly
There's-
at day 1 launch?
There's more than that, and they've got a few
yeah.
more that are still being announced and shown off. But for really big ones, yeah, there is only a handful of games on it because you're getting like we don't know how Virtual Console's transferring over yet. They've talked about that, and they're aware of people wanting to use it. I guess more of they're going to be doing more directs between now and then. But we're getting The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild day 1, which
Yes.
is good. We'll talk about the other games that are coming a little bit later. I know the Binding of Isaac Rebirth is going to be there at launch. Bomberman R will be there at launch. 1-2 Switch. I thought ARMS was going to be a launch title, but apparently it's like a.
Oh, it's not?
I think it's like a couple
Really?
weeks later. It's like later in the month or something.
Oh,
I know less than a month after
Huh.
the launch, or about a month after the launch, we get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
the deluxe.
Yeah, they've announced a lot of the games and they've spaced them out. So even though they said there's a lot of other games they haven't announced yet, we still have E3 coming up. They're saving a lot of stuff for E3,
Oh, yeah.
but there's a good spacing of games between now and the end of the year that we know are coming. So we'll have to see how, they've got a surprisingly large amount of third-party support, which is nice. I mean, we're getting Skyrim this year, which is good.
The third party support is pretty cool, but I don't think there's any launching like third party support. My thing is if like
Bomberman R, Binding of Isaac, and there's a couple other ones that are digital titles as well. And
who owns Bomberman now? Is that Microsoft?
No. I have to
No?
look and see who got them because after Hudson collapsed. But the cool thing is this Bomberman's being made by the original creator.
Cool.
Yeah,
I did see that and I was like, Bomberman? Really? Bomber? What?
Yeah.
On the what? On the who now?
There's some other games.
What?
What was it? Has Been Heroes is coming out on launch day, and that's actually a budget title. It's going to be a physical game, but only $20. They're kind of, I think it's like a GameStop exclusive thing. They partnered with them to, I guess, partial publishing, kind of like did for.
Something on that yet?
Say what?
Is there like a trailer or something on that yet? I haven't looked.
Yeah, they did release a trailer for it. It's kind of cool looking. I might look into it, but it is a little bit of a strategy game, which I know you're not the biggest fan of. So, but
No, I just don't like RPGs. I don't want to read.
That's fair enough. I mean, you and books.
If I wanted to read, I'd get a book, not play video games. Come on.
But I mean, I think there are gonna be more games. Zelda's the biggest one for me. I'm gonna be playing that as pretty much my exclusive one. I can, that first month will go by pretty quick before Mario Kart comes out. And if a lot of people get Mario Kart, oh, that cat's adorable. If a lot of people get Mario Kart, I'm excited for
looked away for a minute. You just popped up with that cat. What did I miss? I'm looking at my cat over here. I'm like, how did you see him? He's just chilling.
Yeah, he's down in the corner. Yeah,
she jumped on my lap.
That's adorable. Mine's chilling out by the sun over there by the window.
Stop saying adorable.
That's adorable. So Mario Kart 8. The cool thing about that, we can do multiplayer. There's an actual battle mode coming back for me. I know we're
an actual battle mode, which is probably the selling point for a lot of people because people like the battle mode.
And I know we're jumping.
I think they're probably gonna,
but I want to cover some of the stuff I know Caleb wants to talk about before he has to go. But like, if a bunch of people get Mario Kart 8, then you can do the multi-system multiplayer on that because each person can have their own. So you can have 8 Nintendo Switches networked together somewhere, all playing Mario Kart against each other with their own screens, which is just going to be crazy.
Looks to be fun.
Which I know we'll be able to do at least 2.
I'm surprised they said, "Hey, here's the title, Splatoon 2." Which
it's an actual sequel.
I didn't think they would actually do like a sequel so fast because to me it just seems like Splatoon wasn't really that far.
It's been a little while since it came out. They just kept giving content for it. That was the beauty of it. They kept giving free stuff over and over and everything. And they've already said Splatoon 2 is going to be the same way. They're going to release the game with all of its content and everything, and they're going to keep supporting it for a longer period now.
I saw somebody edited together because the new weapons kind of resemble some things from Overwatch, like the dual pistols. Somebody Photoshop Tracer's face on it, and then
they're not the first ones to ever have dual pistols. So actually, I think for gaming that would still be back with Halo when you could dual wield in Halo 2.
Yeah, but like the way they were moving, I'm trying to remember the video, but then the paint wheel. Somebody photoshopped Reinhardt's face on it, and then they just did hammer downs. It was great. It's so stupid.
That actually, heck, Splatoon themselves did that before Overwatch even came out. So yeah, that is funny.
Do you think Overwatch is going to be on the Switch? Do you think that'll be a thing?
I don't know. Blizzard hasn't really supported Nintendo in a long time, though. I mean, we've got Bethesda, which that's the first time since the NES they've actually supported them. It hasn't been so long.
EA flew out a representative all the way to Japan just to say, yeah, we're making EA games for it. I'm like, really? Did you? I don't feel like that was necessary, but I mean, okay.
Well, they're making FIFA, which people were like, well, where's Madden? I'm like, well, all right, FIFA is actually a bigger game worldwide. And that's what this thing is a worldwide system, which brings us to the other topic of no region locking.
Yes.
Finally.
I mean, for some people, that's a big deal. For me, I don't really care. But
I'm kind of happy about it because there's already a game that has no U.S. announcement that I'm thinking about importing. And that's Blaze Blue, which was announced for Japan, which is a fighting game. So having Japanese in text in it's not going to be that bad of a deal. And if it doesn't come to the U.S., I'll just import it and play it and still enjoy it. I can still enjoy a fighting game even if it's not in English.
Right.
So, yeah immediately, day one,
I can't understand the command list, though. I'm going to have to look it up.
The command list is still going to be your normal
he's a button smasher anyway. It's fine.
Yep.
Actually, I've been losing a lot to my 9-year-old boy with games because he's a button smasher, and now he takes pride in it because he keeps winning. And I'm like, I want to slap it out of his hand. Like,
you just got to get good. You got to get good, man. You got to get good, Brent. Come on.
I'm telling you, I lost a pinball last night because he was just button smashing the crap out of it.
What? No.
Yeah, I've been playing Pinball Effects too here a lot lately. Ever since the videos we were watching.
Could you imagine if that comes out on the Switch where you could just turn it sideways and hold it vertical and just use
Stop. Stop. Isn't that Microsoft though?
No, it was on. I've got Pinball Effects 2 on the Wii U.
Do you?
Yeah. I have it on
My
Wii U,
wallet
Xbox
just
One,
yells
and,
and cuss words at you.
yeah, sadly they don't like the Xbox 360, Xbox One. My pinball tables will carry over, or at least link.
Yeah.
But on the
But the
Wii,
Wii U to Switch won't, right?
well, Wii U to
Don't know.
Switch might, but Xbox 360 to Wii U didn't.
Well, duh.
Yeah, so I had to go back and kind of pick up my favorites and rebuy them, but it plays really well, and I just like the fact that I can sit back and use just the gamepad and play pinball.
I got on the other day, and there's probably about 20 new. I'm like,
Brent just broke.
yeah, like Doom.
That's right.
Yep. All right, Caleb. Anything else you need to cover before you head out? I know you only got a few minutes.
The presentation was good, but I'm still giving it a 0 out of 10 because of a lack of a certain game franchise.
They actually covered that already.
Really?
Oh, I've got to hear this.
You're talking about, as we all know, Metroid, which I'm there with you. Well, Reggie was specifically asked about Mother 3 and Metroid, and his words were, "We're aware of the love and want for the games. We're aware of people expecting or wanting more in this franchise. We have nothing we can announce today, but come back and talk to us within a year and tell us what you think."
A year's a long time.
I have to wait all year.
Well, remember though, we still have E3. Everyone's expecting they should have shown everything, but we have E3 in like 3 months, 4 months.
And they probably pushed really hard to get what they got out. You know, especially
like
just
the Shin Megami Tensei or whatever.
Yeah, Shin Megami Tensei is coming to it. I mean,
because they're like at least they were able to make this one little video.
Yeah,
but they're still working on it.
Now, I want to hear your reaction to this one, Caleb. Mario Odyssey, or Super Mario Odyssey.
Facial expressions. Okay.
I like the fact that sorry, someone was coming to my room and bothering me. I like the fact that it's basically another Super Mario Sunshine kind of openy, sandboxy kind of world thing, but I mean, looks very surreal because it takes place in the real world.
Not all of it, though. A lot of it was very cartoony, and I like I like how they did that, where it was surreal, where it was realistic, but then it's just like you can be transported back into the Mario universe of hyper cartoony, but yet it fit.
Now, Brent, you need to go back and watch that trailer because that whole city, all of it was a Donkey Kong reference. You can see construction in the background in some parts where it's you can see the red girders, and there's even a spot that says jump, like Jumpman type thing. All the street names, all of them are Donkey Kong characters, Dixie Road and stuff like that. There's a Diddy Mart. The whole place is called New Donk City.
Yeah, that was kind of.
I didn't catch on to that. I was oogling over all the shininess and swirling left and right, and I didn't notice some of the details. Yes, I will definitely have to go check that out.
Yeah, so we've got
what I'm most excited about. I just remembered.
What?
Uh-oh.
The Fire Emblem Dynasty Warriors games. Oh my gosh!
Yes, we're getting we're actually getting a Nintendo Direct just about Fire Emblem on January 18th.
Ooh.
So that game I think will be coming a little bit quicker, probably in Japan first, because I could see it having a lot of translation needing to be done. But we are getting it because they went through the trouble of making an American title version of the trailer.
If they make it anything like Hyrule Warriors, I will be. What's up?
What is it, girl?
Oh, I'm hearing someone's alarm.
Timmy fall down the well.
Timmy fall down the well. But if they make Fire Emblem Warriors anything like Hyrule Warriors, I will be pleasantly surprised. And he left again. What the heck?
He left. Our host has left for the evening. Anarchy!
Anarchy! Taking over the show.
Now, I will have to say, though, going back a step, why you were giving it a 0, now you've kind of upset me a little bit because I haven't thought too much about the whole Metroid issue. I have been fiending for something new, and they didn't do anything in the last system. What was it? The Wii was the last time they did anything.
I'm back. Which one are we talking about?
We went back to Metroid because I hadn't really thought too much about it because it's all new to me anyways. It's all, okay, I'm welcoming in everything new and what's going on. And he's bringing up some, I complain. I'm like, man, I'm ready for some new Mega Man something or another. But now he said Metroid. And I'm thinking, yeah.
Well, Mega Man's not going to happen anytime soon.
Oh, I know that.
Right. Well, it did happen. It's cell phone games, and we'll never speak of that again.
Nope.
Yeah, actually, 1 through 6 is getting released now.
Oh no, they've been released. They just need to be put down now.
Why?
They're horrible.
On the Mega Man Network not too long ago, they were talking about how they're releasing them all.
Yeah, they
you're
released all of them.
Mobile gaming.
No, I mean everybody, even the people playing it, they're terribly done. Like on 3DS,
I mean, what else do we have?
You've
got number 9.
Yeah. People would rather play Mighty Number 9 than play these mobile versions because
I haven't played since I quit after the first week. Yeah.
Well, think about it this way though: it's Mega Man, which needs precise, perfect controls, but you have none of those controls.
Right. Moving on.
Of course.
Moving on. Yeah, it would be kind of cool to see a Metroid and whatnot. I will be patient with them though.
I'm still happy with Federation. I mean,
I'm glad something beautiful.
Federation Force. People give it crap.
See, I haven't played that yet.
It's an expansion on the universe. Well, we and you need to get on there and redo some more co-op, Caleb. Yeah. But it's an expansion on the universe, which I like. I'm glad that they're doing more than just that. I mean, that's like saying, I love the Halo games, but I like Halo Reach. I liked, Halo Wars.
I wouldn't mind it. I don't mind. I like the Universal expansion thing. Thing is, they did it at the wrong time.
I don't think so. I mean, they could put that out. I think they're working on something bigger. They've dropped hints for a while now, and game development takes a while. It takes years to make some of these games, depending on what they're doing. So, I think we just need to kind of have a little bit of faith in that because they've all but said we have something coming. They just can't announce it yet.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
People don't seem to understand that.
What we've talked about this before. Our likes and dislikes are up and downs about these new re-releases in HD where they redo games in HD. And you said there's been a couple that you didn't like, they shouldn't have touched. I said there's a few that I did enjoy, like the Ninja Turtles arcade when they did in HD.
Right.
That was beautiful. The new Street Fighter that's coming out, we had talked about it before we actually saw the trailer for it. And you came back and you're like, you know what? I like the new HD clean, almost comic book style art.
It's one of those that you have to see it in motion to see how it turns out.
Right. And even like the Double Dragon, when they pretty much revamped that whole entire game. It was Double Dragon Neon on Xbox Live Arcade. That was beautifully done. Now, going back, because I haven't finished yet, what if they did the original Metroid and like the really smooth HD, like kind of, how they did.
I kind of like,
and maybe even have it like a 3D depth. I mean, it doesn't really have to go super 3D, but have a little bit more in depth and whatnot. But keep it verbatim of the original.
I kind of wouldn't want to do that because they already
have Zero
Metroid.
Mission.
Exactly, I was about to bring up. They did Metroid Zero Mission, which is a perfect. I mean, they went back and redid everything with the original Metroid, added in the extra content that connected it more to the other games. And that's already been released. You can play it on the Wii U. It's on the 3DS. That you can, download it for some people. It was the original Game Boy Advance game.
I think that was one we did talk about. I hadn't played yet. I don't remember.
Yeah, I need to get a hold of a copy. Or actually, you've got it on Wii U. It's worth buying because it's beautiful to play on there.
What was that? VR Mission?
No, Zero Mission. VR Mission.
Zero Mission.
Yeah.
Nope.
VR Missions was Metal Gear.
Yeah, no, I was like, you're talking Metal Gear. Wait a minute. Samus is going around hiding in a box.
Metal Gear.
But I don't know. I would like to see it personally. I would like to see the smooth shading of it. Not too crazy overdone, but just let's break the pixel. And when I say let's break the pixelization, I'm so 8-bit art. I love all that. So I'm not trying to get away from that. But I think that would look like how they did the Street Fighter, where it was nice and clean.
There's
something like that.
Styles like Shantae's Half Genie Hero has got a very clean, cartoony look where it's almost over animated when it works really well for that.
I don't want over animated.
Well, I mean, for what they do, everything kind of moves. It's almost Disney-esque where everything's got motion to it,
Yeah.
But I think if they're going to do one, I would rather see them do a 2.5D Metroid where Samus is a 3D model. The creatures are 3D and there's depth to the world like you're talking about with kind of but it's playing on a 2D landscape. But that way they
Well,
can.
that's how they did the Turtles. It was like that.
Yeah, and honestly, I know I kind of go back and I find it funny. I liked Other M. I liked how it was set up. The story was dumb, yes, but the gameplay was
Yes.
actually really well done. It's still fun to play.
No, please, I want more Other M gameplay. Please. It was so cool.
I mean, if they had
That was one I haven't played either.
Oh, we just lost somebody. No, never mind.
No,
Had a little hiccup there. But if we had like a Super Metroid style game done up in the style of Other M, where you're just running around, but just ditch some of the story mode stuff, just make it, less like it. And they were talking about it where they've tried to make Metroid work for more people. We like it. We really love Metroid, but it's financially not a good selling point for Nintendo. It never has been. It's one of those where it's really popular, but not a seller. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the Metroids we've gotten so far have been, labors of love from them because they're not making all that much back on them. So they were trying to do different things to make it more appealing to people. That's why they tried this stuff with Federation Force. That's why they tried, more story in Other M. And, people were just biting back at them and getting mad about it and demanding this other stuff. And they're going, well, you guys wouldn't buy that. So what? We got to do something. So it went quiet for a while. And that's what Metroid's done before. I mean, we got Super Metroid and then we saw nothing else until we got Metroid Prime. And that was a huge gap between Super
Yeah, but after Super Metroid, you didn't need anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, that was good enough to last you years.
I still play it. I'm probably going to play it
Oh,
today.
absolutely. Absolutely. That game is amazing.
Now that I have it on my 3DS and it plays perfectly, I'm just like, I'm done.
Oh,
I've got so many of the Metroids on my 3DS now.
I have not tried it yet, but that will definitely be the next game that we play on projector night.
Yeah, that'd be a
The
good
12-foot screen.
So,
one other thing
All right.
before I have to go on a little
Yes.
bit I want to address is the price of the system itself is like $299.
Mhm.
It's okay. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll get it if it's $250. I'm like, well, you're gonna be disappointed. Too bad for you.
well, what would they have to cut to 50? Honestly,
I don't know.
that's the
But
thing.
one thing for those people who want to say have several docks around the house, that's gonna be like, so they don't have to unplug it and plug it in somewhere else. It's gonna be a bit pricey because the dock is $90.
Oh, wow.
the dock is 90, but I think there's more into it. And I've been looking at how they have it designed and what's in there. We're talking about it has to take the USB-C signal. It's got to have your AC adapter inside of there, convert it over to the HDMI output. It comes to the HDMI and the AC adapter. Plus, you've got, the molding for the plastics. You have to pay for that, as well as whatever the USB 3.0 connections for. All of that being connected in there and wired is not really going to be cheap. I can see maybe third parties coming out with some later down the line. I've already seen a few things where you can set it in there and use it without using a kickstand.
Yeah, I was wondering if third parties were going to jump on that.
I know there won't be any third-party Joy-Cons because this will probably be impossible to replicate because it's got the HD motion thing or whatever it is.
I'm dying to see what this HD vibration or motor control, whatever the crap they're calling it.
Yeah.
I'm dying to see how this is.
I want to see how that works, but it's one of those things you have to get it in your hands to see.
Right.
I mean,
Or to feel. Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I find it funny how many people were like, oh, they have to do these certain things or Nintendo's going to fail. And then they just kept pulling back the line. It was getting to the point some people were like, it needs to be under $100. And I'm like, what do you think it's
I think those are
be? It's
trolls.
That's not going to happen.
Well, there was like papers and stuff going like, if it's not under $100, it's not going to pass. I'm like, and they're trying to compare it to the PS4 and the Xbox One, saying, well, you can get these systems for $200 now. I'm like, yeah, you can get the bare bones minimum ones,
Because
you can get
they're
some of the
older.
bundles, but they are older ones. But people never take into account the cost of something being portable versus it being not. How much, if you have $1,000 and you want to go buy a computer, how much computer can you get in a desktop versus how much can you get in a tablet or a laptop?
A gaming computer at that.
Yeah, matching specs.
Yeah, gaming computers
the
are
exact same specs, no matter what they are going to cost you more when they have to be shrunk down.
Right.
My tablet you know, it cost me $1,500, $1,700, almost $2,000. Really nice tablet. I love it. But I have a much bigger laptop that cost me a lot less that, you know, does about the same thing, but it's just really big and bulky and everything. And I paid for that portability. So I expected how it was going to run.
You know, and I bet a lot of these people that are complaining, oh, let's have it under $100. I bet they're the same people that go out and will spend $600, $700 on a stupid iPhone.
Well, that was some of the people's arguments. They were like, you're holding a, you know, $1,000 phone in your hand, but then you complain about a $10 app like Mario Run. That's what they're doing. They're like, I can't
complain about it. I have a Galaxy. I can't play it.
Yeah, well, we're getting it.
I play Sonic Rush, so bleh.
I think we're getting it like a month or two. I'm going to try that one out and we'll see.
Try Sonic Rush. It's cute.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Me runner?
I kept trying the Turtles one, but I got tired of the notifications that kept popping up.
It's a runner, though.
No, the Sonic Rush is the... I think you're talking about Sonic Runner, right?
Well, for the Android, it's Sonic Rush.
Oh, that's weird. I have to look at it.
Who knows?
Let me see.
Another thing, I think they also said that the Pro Controller 70?
Sonic Boom 2, my bad.
Yeah, it is 70, but I went back and looked at that. You can get an Xbox One controller for about $50, $60, depending if you get a colored one or something like that. And then it's another $15 to $20 for the battery.
So wait. Is the Pro Controller coming separate?
Yeah.
Well,
you get a controller with it. And that's like saying, oh, I'm not getting a second controller with the Xbox One. Well,
yeah, what you thought a Pro Controller would come?
I was going to say, I'm like, did the Pro Controller?
you get the control dock. You get the one that turns it into a controller.
Yeah.
That comes
no controller would come with it. That's you got to be about $350.
Right.
$350.
Which I looked at the Pro Controller, and I kind of like all of them have parity now. Even the Pro Controller has motion. It also has the NFC built into it. It has the HD Rumble. So you can use the Pro Controller and still get all that stuff in it, which is why it costs a little bit more, but it does still have that battery already included inside of it. You know, all these things are already built in that you normally have to buy separate on other controllers.
I've watched a video of someone playing Splatoon 2 with the Pro Controller, showing the controls and whatnot. And
yeah, and they can do the motion.
Easier it was, yeah. So, which would be great because when I play here, I'm the only one that can do that precise aiming. They're like, "I hate you. Let me hold that." I'm like, back off.
There is a way to do it with a classic controller and a Wii remote. It was a hidden feature they had in there, but you can take a rubber band and strap it to the back of it. And
right. I was just thinking, what kind of rig do you have to come up with this?
It's actually a joke in the game that you find that someone tried to do that, and they found it. Someone tested it, and that's how they discovered. Like they didn't announce that.
Yeah, it was in like a C scroll, I think.
Yeah, and it was like a fossil of
a guy trying to. I didn't read all those. I get them, but I don't really read them.
It was a cool little feature that they didn't say anything about. They just hid it until someone was like, "That looks cool. I'm going to try it."
I got to try it now.
I tried it. It worked. I was surprised.
Because the kids are always complaining. That's not fair. I can't aim it right.
Well, remember, I still have that case that I got way back on the original Wii. Because remember, the original classic controller was that oval. Yeah. And it would snap into that, and it would let you just snap the controller onto the back of it already. And it worked. I could do the motion controls with that. And I was like, all right, I'm done. So you need to I'm
sure there's some kind of 3D a file out there somebody's already built. And you just download it and print it, and you're done.
Well, let me look here.
And he left again. Riot.
Anarchy! He's going to go dig for his peripherals.
I can't leave you guys anywhere.
What? We hear you.
What?
Kiss your mother with that mouth?
Yep.
I know I have.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
Oh, he's back. No more mom jokes.
You had the headphones on the entire time, right? I could hear you.
What? We totally weren't.
But yeah, that's the little piece I have for it. The piece that snaps in the back that holds the Wii remote, and you could just use it again. For this piece here, it snaps in the back, and that holds the Wii remote.
Nice.
This fits in it, So I can play Splatoon or someone else can, and you still get the motion controls with it.
That's cool.
It's hilarious.
That's cool.
Well,
All right.
so before I go, because it
Okay.
is time, is my time to die.
Damn, that got dark quick.
I thought it was a pretty good. I think it's pretty cool. Whether I get it on day one, I don't know. Amon I think he has a slot for me, so I probably could get it day one. Because apparently are they going like hotcakes right now, Jeremy?
I think we're almost sold out at the store. We
Yep,
sold out.
yep,
most
there you
of
go.
them in the first day.
So if
They
they
were-
haven't been sold out yet, they're not as hotcakes as you're thinking.
Well, I mean, people are already complaining like, oh, they're sold out in certain places, and I'm like,
Shop around.
knew about it, and it's been going. We actually got more of an allotment than we did for like the Xbox One and PS4. They're just really popular, but remember, they're also launching in like 9 different countries or something on the same day.
This is true.
Because since it's region free, they can just slap extra words on the box and not have to worry about it. They just make the console and put it wherever it needs to go.
To be honest, I think they messed up by having that live so late. I mean, I know it was 10 o'clock Central Time, so it was even 8 o'clock
Well, in
Pacific
Japan, it was
time.
like in the
Well,
morning, I think.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
the Japanese
okay.
one, so it was in the morning.
Well, I seen a Japanese one. There is no English in it whatsoever.
Well-
No white people in it either.
Well, yeah, they're in Japan is why, but
I know. I'm just saying.
they did, actually right now they're still doing the Treehouse Live stuff as well, where they're showing off more of the games,
That's crazy.
which we'll talk about those because a few little things popped up I'm kind of curious about, specifically like the Street Fighter game. There was like a little hidden thing in the trailer that no one talks about, and I'm like, wait,
The
what?
very end.
Yeah,
the very
that
end.
one little
I saw it.
1 second clip hidden in the middle of the trailer where it goes full out 3D Street Fighter 4 style from a first person view and then just goes back and goes away. And they're like nothing.
0.01 seconds. You know.
I had to freeze frame it, but it looks like the character model and art design from Street Fighter
Freeze
4. But you remember on the 3DS, they had a mode where you could play it in first person. They were doing the 3D thing. It was a little thing you could unlock or play in there.
I haven't got it on the 3DS.
Yeah, I've been playing that one since it came out, but
I was about to say that was a launch title, wasn't it?
and but there was a mode where you could play it in first person to fight, and it was kind of funny, to mess around with, but it's really disorientating.
Yeah.
But this looks just like it. They're in a 3D environment. He's throwing a Hadouken at another character, and
Was it Bison?
no, it was just some random trooper. It looked like almost like one of Bison's thing, like you're going through like a side-scrolling beat 'em up or something.
Kind of
But
Tekken-ish
there's-
style.
Yeah, there's more to that game. Yeah, it's a good reference. The Tekken one, really good reference.
Thank you.
There's more to this game than they're saying so far, and that's what kind of surprises me. I'm wondering what's going on. We didn't see anything in regards to the VR functionality, but we're seeing hints towards it. There's a couple developers that have talked about it, and this almost feels like you would put it, as a VR type thing and be playing this. Maybe, doing the Hadoukens and stuff with the motion.
What, with the screen on your head?
It's no different than using your phone in one of the Google Box.
No, that screen's bigger than the phone.
Screen's only about the screen itself is about.
You
the
put it
size.
next to the Wii U screen. I would put a Wii U on my freaking face.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't put the whole thing.
It's like my next sword. I don't know why.
I take that back. I take it back. I remember back in 1996 in the mall, I paid $5 for one of them VR simulators. And I had that gargantuan freaking helmet that was like 10 pounds.
I mean, I've got this thing. I mean, if we're willing to put this thing on our head,
And I did.
pulls up, the whole
I put my head
PlayStation
in it.
VR and everything. That's
True.
still pretty.
True.
The Switch is going to be.
Well, compared to the Oculus, too. I haven't tried that, but I tried the Oculus. But
I haven't tried the newer Oculus, but I remember the old one was a big block on my face.
yeah, it was. I got sick.
Yeah, it was
All
low
right.
resolution, low frame rate.
But-
Caleb, last talk.
but-
Anything?
So sorry. I just want to say, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the games coming out. I want to see, more stuff, maybe a little bit more launch goodness. So it's not just sitting there for a couple months till whatever comes out. And thank you guys for having me.
Hey, anytime.
Yeah, man.
Looking forward for Metroid, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you put that in my head.
I think you're going to get it. I just don't think we're going to hear anything until E3.
Yeah.
Maybe another year.
I think.
Sorry.
All right.
Well, I think what it is they're working on it. They're going to probably show it at E3 and announce it, and then it'll release in 2018.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
I think that's what's going to be what's happened.
Ugh, it's gross. All right.
Would you rather just say like we're never
See y'all
making it?
later.
All right, bye, Caleb.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Now, I will say something about Nintendo and their developing. A lot of the times, if they're not completely sure what they got, they never really release the information or show anybody until they got something they know is killer. And
they want to make sure that's going to work out.
They'll pop up with something, and you're like, whoa, I had no clue this is what they were working on. Because other companies will do that. They'll post and just show you the development or something, or the promise of something, and then something fell through, and it's just like, we're not going to do it, or we were unable to do it what we promised. We're just kind of wanting to get this out. So maybe that's what Nintendo's doing. They're like, we've got something, but we're just not going to talk about it right now. We just chill. So that would be cool.
Yeah, but
I have faith in Nintendo, but now I'm hungering for some freaking Metroid.
Me too. I've been for a while. So I've been playing the 3DS game. It's actually been pretty good, but it's kind of like, here's an appetizer. Like, where's the meal?
Where's the meal? You keep bringing the snacks and the free bread, but I like the meal.
This bowl of chips and salsa, it's great, but I want the burrito.
Can I get a steak with this? I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, God, now I'm hungry. I go get
But,
Mexican.
there you
All
go.
right. So we rushed through a lot of this, kind of jumping
Yeah.
for Caleb's sake, because I want to make sure he could talk about it. But I want to go back to the beginning and kind of go through.
We're going to Quentin
Go through the
Tarantino
presentation.
this right quick.
Yeah.
We got through the main storyline, but let's take it back. Let's just take it back and get
What's
some
in the briefcase, man?
notes.
What's in the briefcase?
On an unrelated note, I watched Hateful Eight this morning for the first
I love
time.
that movie.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. So, but yeah, let's
I picked that one
Tarantino.
up. Yeah, I picked that one up on over the break. Remember over the holidays during the sale during that lovely I hit someone's car. Yeah, but not me hit someone's car.
I'm
Someone
about to
else.
say, yeah, no, you didn't, but we witnessed a wonderful evening at Toys R Us. But
drunk out giant guy. Yeah. Anyways,
right. Good times.
So I took some notes. I actually took 3 pages of notes during the presentation while I'm sitting there watching it. Amanda thought it was hilarious, and I'm going through it. I'm like making notes of like, oh, I like the music. Who's the DJ? And I'm gonna have to figure that out.
Ooh, Sonic Mania. I hope they release a CD.
Yeah, well, you can buy their music on iTunes. It says.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, because all the music in the trailer. That's another one we're gonna get to, but that's a game I'm like excited to play because it looks so good and it just screams portable.
Matter of fact, after watching the trailer the first time, I had to watch it. I had to show it, to the little man because he's a Sonic fanatic. And after watching that this morning, when I got up after the movie time, I ended up popping in Sonic Generations because I was like fiending for a little Sonic action.
Right.
So yeah, it's gonna be cool. I can't wait for it.
So one of the first things I noticed whenever they came out and talked, Mr. Kimishima, the president of Nintendo, the current one after the late Satoru Iwata passed away, he specifically mentions it as a home console that can go with you. So they're kind of, I guess they're aiming it like that. Like this is the next Nintendo console that can be a portable. And they're still pushing that the 3DS is going to be around for a while. You're still going to get games for it and stuff like that, but they'd probably be the smaller titles. But
Which is good because you can't put that Switch in your back pocket. Nah.
Actually, they showed a guy doing it, but yeah.
Not in my back pocket.
It's like sticking way out.
I'm like, the XL right now won't work. That's why I haven't got it yet, but one day.
Yeah, I just keep it in the case of my backpack, and that's what I usually do, and it works fine. So
not everyone carries a backpack with them.
I know.
Maybe I'll bring back the fanny pack. Yeah.
I don't think we should ever do that. Okay. Unless it's going to be probably holding your rechargeable batteries. But
no, that's going to be my Batman utility belt. Yellow, batteries all over it. Yeah. Wait, somebody's going to steal that.
They gave the final release date that we're going to get it. And, as I said earlier, in all the different countries and things, like 9 different countries, they're releasing on the same day as March 3rd, 2018.
17.
2017. That's throwing me
Live in the
off
now,
about
homie.
16, 17, 18. But so that's actually way faster than I thought we were going to get it. I expected the end of the month, not the beginning. That's pretty much the first Friday. So that'll be cool. With a release price of $299.99.
Right.
That's the North American cost. A lot of people were wanting $250. I was kind of thinking it would be towards $250, but
Yeah.
given what all it comes with, it kind of makes sense why it's not. They have to draw a line somewhere where they can still make money on it, but be able to sell it at a marketable price.
I'm glad it's not $350.
Yeah, I think $350 would have been way too much. A lot of people prefer $250, but I think it's like I said before. You
definitely have to shave something, and you probably have to shave battery life. You know,
you want your $250 Switch. It doesn't come with Joy-Cons.
You get one wired controller, and it's like it's the Nintendo, the NES Mini controller.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if they are going to have like touchscreen based games come out for it.
Well,
but we'll get into that when we get to the.
They didn't really do that with the Wii U, though.
They did some, but not
a little bit, but not like
it was all. It was
not
all
like mobile gaming.
Well, yeah, it was indie developers that did it. They had a lot of like smaller downloadable touch-based games that were really good.
I mean, even go back to Splatoon, when you're doing the missions, you could point click and it would shoot across. And I do believe they were also saying that the new one could do it.
Yeah, a little bit differently. So here's the one that kind of caught me by surprise. That was kind of cool that they're doing it, but really a mystery still. We don't know how this is going to work, but they talked about their online services. It's going to be smart device based. So your tablets and phones and things are what you use to interact with it, not the Switch itself.
Right.
Which their parental controls are the same way. So, you're talking about your son playing games and stuff. If he had a Switch, you could actually have the app on your phone and be able to see what he's playing, when he's playing it, how long he's been playing. You can set time limits that will pop up indicators on the game going, hey, your time's up, or you've got this much time left.
That's cool.
If he ignores it and keeps going, it'll tell you, hey, it's this much over, or he played over it and stuff. And there is even a function that you can have it put the system to sleep right when the timer goes out. But I love how they showed it. They did a video of Bowser and Bowser Jr., and it's the most adorable thing I've ever seen.
Stop saying adorable.
I'm sorry. It's cute.
Don't say cute. That makes it worse.
It's endearing.
Endearing. Let's move on.
But it shows how a lot of that stuff will work. You can set the age rating for games. You can tell it if you want to allow voice chat or multiplayer, or all the different functions you could do, like on the Wii U and some of the other ones you can control on here. But it's all via an app. You'll just get notifications. So even if you're not home, you can still see it. But if you set it to turn off, it doesn't matter what he's doing. If he's saved or not, it's just going to shut off.
Ooh.
That's it. And you can set it by so much time during certain days. So like if you want to have, no time during the week, but so much time on the weekends, you can set that. But it is system based, not account based, which also tells me that you can still have multiple users on a console, which makes sense. I mean, the Wii U does it, and it separates out game saves and stuff. But it'll be just for that. Yeah. So Amanda already asked, so can I have the access to yours? I went, no,
it's mine. Get your own.
Like, please don't shut me off.
It's cheaper if we just get more consoles than docking stations.
Yeah, that would probably be better.
You're welcome.
All right, so the other thing is we have to see how the phone use is going to be. Like if that's actually how they're doing the chat,
with the live chats,
which would be kind of weird. Like if you have to have your phone to chat with people.
I was about to say, do we know for a fact if it's actually going to be using that, or if it's going to be using the system, kind of like the Wii U was trying to do?
We don't know. That's the mystery.
Because that kind of sucked at times. Like, we would play games. What was it? Was it Minecraft or Terraria, where I had no clue that the microphone was even on, and I had the volume turned down, so I couldn't even hear you going, I can hear you.
What was
Stop saying that about me.
Yeah,
But, you know,
Minecraft, we could hear each other,
Yeah.
but then all of a sudden we went to go play Terraria and we had to call each other because it didn't have
oh
a
yeah,
chat.
I think that's what it was.
And it was weird that it should have just worked. I mean,
But what I'm saying is it would kind of stink if it's actually going to use the screen itself, because what if you're docked and you're away from the screen, and now you're going to be picking up everything and everyone around instead of having a personal conversation.
Well, on the flip side, that might be why you use a smart device, because you might have your phone sitting in front of you and you can plug in a headset or something.
Or maybe Bluetooth.
Or Bluetooth, things like that as well. Whatever your phone supports. It's whatever your phone supports. And you could be playing your game while chatting with somebody using that, so you're not having to connect to it since the system can move. So there's a plus and a minus to this. We don't know. But what a lot of people are kind of negative about, and I was hoping they wouldn't do it, but they did, you have to pay for online now.
Yeah, and they haven't really talked about a price yet, have they?
No, they haven't announced the price for it yet, if it's going to be like a monthly, yearly service, something like that.
I thought they said monthly, but I don't really remember.
Well,
like I said, it was a lot of information that,
I think it'll be monthly, but like you can probably have a yearly option like Xbox Live or PlayStation Network.
Right.
We don't know the cost of it yet.
I thought PlayStation was free.
No, PlayStation 4, you have to pay for PlayStation Plus to play online.
Oh, didn't know that.
That's the one I don't pay for, because I don't play enough games online to warrant it. So I don't have it. But Xbox Live, I do use a lot. So that one warranted, me paying for.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know the cost of it. They did talk about the fact, and we haven't heard anything about Virtual Console really, but we know it's coming.
Right.
But they did say that each month you'll get like a Super Nintendo or an NES game for free.
Which kind of reminds me of Xbox Live Gold free game. Well, they do 2 free games.
Well, this is only for that month.
Yeah.
Beginning of the month, you get the game. End of the month, it goes back.
Oh.
And a new one gets swapped out. Which a few people were like, a lot of people were very negative about that. And even I was kind of like, really?
It's like a full trial, full access trial type deal.
Which they're adding online to NES and Super Nintendo games.
That's going to be a crazy upgrade. I mean, think about.
But somebody.
I was just going to say, think about playing some of the 2-player games on old Nintendo online.
Zombies ate my neighbors.
I was going to go further than that. I was like Double Dragon style,
Mario 3.
Okay.
You can go back and forth and play online against each other, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But or Dr. Mario.
Oh, you don't want that. You don't want that. You can't hang.
We need a rematch if I had the time.
Absolutely. Anytime, man. When you're ready to have it handed to you.
I want this on the projector. I want it on the big screen, just me and you in front of everybody. Mano a mano.
That's what I did the other weekend, and I had to stomp some butt into the ground too. So I don't know why. I get that game like I do. When it first came out, I couldn't play it. No lie. Actually, we played at a friend's house, and she would stomp my butt all the time. I have no problem saying that whatsoever. Well, but yeah, I don't know what it is. I love that game. You know what helped me? Tetris helped.
Yeah.
It helped because I became strongly addicted to that game, and that probably helped out. But hey, yeah, next time we do the projector and stuff, bring it, and bring some Kleenexes, because you will be crying. There will be tears.
Well, it's okay. I'll be wiping off the tears as you cry. I'll just
cry as I laugh at you, because you'll be in the fetal position on the ground with snot bubbles. Don't worry. There will be a webcam showing.
We'll
Zenspath crying.
I don't know if we can have the kids watching this, because me and you got kind of nasty.
It did get a little R-rated, yes. Definitely. Some of these old games do cause cussing. Yes, absolutely.
But do you want to let everyone know how we got to play Dr. Mario this time?
Oh, the Nintendo Mini, an amazing little device there. Everyone complains about the limitation and whatnot, but it's awesome. I mean,
you've been enjoying it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, it has been causing some verbal problems that I'm working on.
Have you gotten the wife on it yet? Trying it?
No, not yet.
I'm sure Jay loves it.
I need to actually go get a second controller and a couple extension cords and whatnot. At least the extension cords, because I have the classics.
Yeah, and I kind of prefer those. The D-pad feels really good and everything.
Yeah, but
because I loaned you one of my extension cables.
Right, and in playing on the original NES though, it takes me back. So it seems weird playing it on anything else. You know, I've got a Logitech controller when I play the emulated versions, and even then, it doesn't feel right. You know, but
This works out well,
definitely,
and I've gotten so used to using the classic controllers for virtual console playing that it's okay. And I like the fact I can switch games without having to hit the button. But honestly, if you're really focused on a game, how often do you get to switch games? You do it at
Yeah.
first because you want to try out everything.
Right, and I haven't even tried all the games on it because I do that. I'll go to like specific favorites, and then I'm stuck on it for like an hour or two. And
Yeah,
then I'm
I
like,
think that's what
okay.
everyone was complaining about. They were like, "Oh, you have to keep getting up to hit the reset button," but you're getting
Pick a
this whole
game and stick
collection.
with it.
Right. Well, even I was doing that when it first came out. I'm like, I want to see how they all run, so I was keep switching between them. But then once you get over that newness, you're just kind of like, oh, I'm going to play some Kid Icarus, and you put it in there, and you're committed for the next hour or something.
Yep, I was doing that the other night.
Through it. Yep. All right. Anyways,
moving on. I hope they do a Super Nintendo version. I really do.
Yeah.
I would love to get my hands on the Famicom one too, but that's just, I'll wait.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do that one, but it's got disk drive versions too. Anyways, so we'll have to wait and see about the paid service. Not the happiest about it, but I want to see what Nintendo comes with. But if I'm going to be willing to pay for it, it has to work. I have to be able to talk to my friends. I have to be able to play my games. And one time it was mentioned that of games that support it, and I went, "Oh crap!" That's my worry. They were talking about it on one of the Treehouse Lives, and someone said that, and I was like, "No, don't make this game by game basis. I want this to work. I want to be playing Smash Brothers while talking to you, playing Minecraft or whatever else. Don't make it where I can only talk to you for playing the games together." Because that's part of what I love Xbox Live. I will go on.
I was just about to go to that direction. I was like, that's one of the things that they did right was their chat, where you can even do the private chat or the group chat, the game chat. It was done beautifully. So
we remember we used to, before we get together, we would do pre-shows on Xbox Live, where we're just in party chat talking over the topics while all of us are playing our own games. So later in the week when we got together, we had an idea of what we wanted to talk about. I would, we can't really do that on the Wii U. Yeah, they've got the video chat, but I've used it all of 0 times, as much as no one ever wanted to bother using it, so I never tried. But when you used it, that's all you could do. You couldn't play games, just chat.
It kind of also makes me think too. They're talking about it's not going to be available at launch. It'll be available later on, but they have the screenshot or the live video button on the left Joy-Con. So they said they're possibly going to be able to stream games and whatnot. It also makes you wonder, with this chat and service, will you be able to talk or narrate over it? I guess kind of like how the Xbox One or the PS4, where you can stream yourself and whatnot. I've seen you do it, but since I've never played them, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm curious to see how that's going to go.
There's probably going to be a lot explained in E3, and at the same time, after E3, we're probably still going to have a lot more questions or be like, oh, they didn't touch on this or touch on that. So when exactly is the E3? I can't remember. Is it going to be before or after the release?
Way after. It's usually like June or July.
That's what I thought, but you kept talking about, oh, we still got E3. And I was thinking, really, is it going to be like, what, March-ish or something? I thought it was later, like August, September, but I felt like we just had one.
It's been about a year. I'm trying to see where it's going to show up because they're still not.
I guess with the CES show, E3
June 13th to June 15th.
Okay.
So I
guess that's what got confused.
Coming up. So, I mean, they can release a lot of stuff now, but they're going to have stuff to show at E3 as well. Because remember, last year they focused just on Zelda. Just Zelda. That's it.
The Breath of Wind?
Breath of the Wild, yeah.
Breath of the Wild. Sorry.
So, all right. So the next thing they announced they were talking into was a nice surprise that we haven't done since the original DS. No region locking.
Yeah. Which you mentioned before.
Yeah. A lot of people, that's really not a big concern. Everyone was all upset that you couldn't, the Wii U and the 3DS and things were region locked. And I understand that sucked. And there was a case on the Wii U that actually affected me, where there was a camera-based game on the Wii U that was digital only here. Fatal Frame. Really cool game. I wanted to play it, but I don't like digital titles. You know how I am about that. I don't want to pay full price, get it digitally, and then be stuck there. But Europe got it as a physical game. And it was in English. It had, you could understand it, you could play it. But because it was a European Wii U, I can't play it on my North American system without buying a whole new console.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get it. That would have been a game I would have 100% imported that game. No questions asked. And
it's like me with Pinball Effects.
Yeah.
I mean that's another one that I truly back you up. Usually when you start talking about your anti-digital games, you've got points. I'll give it to you. You got a good point behind it. But some of them
I do have a lot of digital games. I understand developers need to make, that's all they can afford to make, and that's how they work with it. And I'm cool with that. But if there's a
Pinball
physical copy,
Effects,
I want access
I'm one
to
of those that am like, I'm screaming, get on board, get you a physical copy. What's wrong? You can have volumes. I don't care. Pinball Effects 2 Volume 1, 2, the Zen ones, the Midway ones. I don't care. Release
the Marvel collection, the Bethesda collection, releasing that.
Yeah. I mean, there was, like I said, there was probably about 10 of those alone, the Marvel collections alone that I don't even have, from the Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I kind of started getting on your bandwagon with the whole digital versus, physical. But I'm definitely 100% psyched about going back to cartridges. I've always been a cartridge fan. Still to this day, you and I will go to our local gaming hobby shop and still buy old Nintendo games or Atari games or something retarded, and you blow them clean, get the dust out, you put it in, and it plays. And then versus disc,
I mean,
go ahead.
I'll
just say my thing I hate with disc is even when you buy it, you're like, oh, has this got a scratch on it, or do the kids put this some certain way, or if you let it out and you borrow it, you're kind of, or lend it out, you're like, don't scratch it, But I'm down with the cartridge games. So
I mean, Amanda bought me the what was it, 8-bit USB's Nintendo AVS system for my birthday this year, and
you'll have to bring that over projector night. We got to see.
Yeah, it uses the exact same inputs as the NES Mini. Same power supply, same HDMI cord.
Awesome.
But and it's got the 4 ports already built into it for NES, and it uses original NES controllers, actual plug-in controllers. But I popped in a cartridge. I mean, we're talking about 30-year-old games. Put them in there, shut it, turned it on, popped up and worked, plays in 720p. And I was like, oh, this is great. And I just sat there playing Rampage for an hour.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Well, here's the cool thing, because I'm always trying to find ways for Jennifer to be able to play games.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it has a Game Genie built into it, so I put her on Rampage and then turned on the Game Genie codes for Invincibility, Infinite Life. So she's just wrecking things and
caused havoc.
She played it for like an hour. She was so happy.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
something different other than Kirby. That's awesome.
She still played Kirby. I was surprised. I apparently don't have Kirby's Adventure on NES. I could have sworn I owned that game, but I guess I've got so many virtual versions of it.
Where he's sucking the label off the side of the cartridge.
It's the second game. The original was on Game Boy. The second game they made was Kirby's Adventure on NES.
The first one was on Game Boy? Okay.
Yep.
That's right, because
Kirby's Dream Land was the first one.
Yeah, because I didn't really know he was like pink. And that sadly, that was one thing that I grew up. I'm like, he's a pink superhero thing. I'm not gonna play that, but he's actually a cool dude.
That game is so much fun.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. They loved their Switch puns during this entire presentation.
My God. Especially the transition. Like, let's switch to this. I'm like, all right, we got it.
Yeah, well, we got it all right. They ran it into the ground.
They really did. Well, think about it. We want to play.
That was probably the best advertising they've ever done. They need to bring those guys back. I was
want to play. They're like Jehovah's Witnesses of the Nintendo world.
I'd let them in. I will.
We want to play.
But
you're playing with power.
I remember that.
I guess they are the pun kings, though. They always use a specific motto, and they just run it into the ground. Superpower.
Yeah. So they had a really cool discussion when they had Shinya on there talking about the history of the Nintendo systems, which it was really funny. They completely skipped the Virtual Boy. It was like Super Nintendo. And then we had the N64, and we're like, yeah, I see what's going on here. but they took, and if you look at the Switch, they took like features from every one of them to make this system. It's got the screen of the Wii U, you know, the portable in your hand thing. It's got the motion controls from the Wii. It's got the button layout and stuff like they were doing from the GameCube. It's got, you know, the XY, you know, all the stuff from the Super Nintendo, all that. They're missing the D-pad from the NES, but whatever. But it was kind of cool to see how, you know, the history of Nintendo was in this whole system. Then they went on to talk about the play styles of the Switch, the 3 main ways you can use it, which was TV mode, plug it in the dock, play on your TV, tabletop mode, which you just set, you know, put the kickstand down, pull the controller off and play on that, or handheld mode where it's all connected and you're running around.
Right, which both of those are more the mobility aspect of it.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, I could see that. Like if you're, you know, on a family trip or something, you could. It supports 4 controllers on one system. You could just mount the system back there, give kids 4 controllers, and they're playing Mario Kart or something the entire trip.
While in the trip. Well, I mean, as we saw, even things like 1-2 Switch, you're not really even using the screen. You were using the audio and the HD motion vibration and the Joy-Cons to be able to play the game. So that's you know, Nintendo, they always like to think outside the box. They like to try new things. And the fact that now you can play a game where you don't use a screen, that's really outside the box, you know.
Yeah, you're going by audio cues for stuff.
Absolutely.
Like even the table tennis, when you're fighting against each other.
Oh, the ping pong and 1-2 Switch or whatever?
Yeah, they're going by.
I got to see this. Yeah, we watched the Treehouse, you know, just a little bit of that and whatnot. And they kept trying to emphasize or, you know, explain, you know, we can't visually show what we're experiencing right now. This is all audio. This is the vibration, you know, or even the Samurai Challenge thing, you know.
Yeah, that one looked really cool. The Gunslinger one, that was a mini game in Kirby's Adventure that you could unlock where you'd have to hit the buttons fast enough and then.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly the same. So.
Yeah, I remember that. So, but I mean, that's cool. Especially those 3 ways.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of an interesting function. So they went and talked about battery life, which this was the biggest concern for a lot of people other than cost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which they gave it 2.5 to 6.5 hours, depending on what you're playing, which makes sense. I mean, it's like your cell phone. You can have it run all day long if you do nothing on it. But as soon as you start using it like crazy, like Pokemon Go, you're dead in an hour, you know.
Right. Well, and I guess it also, again, it's going from, say, games like, again, 1-2 Switch versus Zelda or Skyrim.
Right, which they actually, I think they were smart to give the general use of Zelda as a reference.
Yeah, well, hell, that's the hot ticket of this whole thing right now is Zelda. No one cares about probably any other game that comes out with it. That's why they can put Mario at freaking the end of the year. They're like, Mario, mascot, whatever. Every system's come out has had a Mario game with it. We're going to put Mario in this a year later. Right now, Zelda.
Actually, any Nintendo system has not launched with a Mario since the DS.
Really? What about like all the new Mario worlds? Mario Land or
Super Mario 2? They had those, like the new 3D ones. So yeah,
3D right. Mario World.
I remember the GameCube didn't launch with one. It had Luigi's Mansion, but no Mario. Mario Sunshine was about a year later. Joke. I'll tell you that one day.
That's true. What Mario game was on GameCube? Was that Sunshine or was that Wii?
It was Sunshine, but it came out like almost a year later.
Way later, yeah.
I think it was the summer. I mean, it was later in the year.
Yeah, and see, Sunshine I haven't played. Sunshine or Galaxy I haven't played. I know there's a long list of games I haven't played that I know I should have played, but
Galaxy you need to get.
I want them. I want
Galaxy 2. I think you can get fairly cheap as a Wii title on the Wii U.
The classics.
No, I mean you can buy it. It's digital. You can just download it and play it.
No, we're going to go back to your original argument.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I'm trying to stay away from the digital as well. I had to delete another game on my Wii U the other day.
I need to just give you an external hard drive. I think I have one you can use because I bought a 320 gig and I've never had to buy another one.
Well, yeah. Well, anyways, I had to delete another game just to download the update to Splatoon when I played it the other day. So I've been trying to stay away from a lot of the digital games, even though you know me, I love it. If I can just pull it up and it's boom right there without having to get up, find the disc, and load it, whatever have you, I'm there. That's why I probably spend more money on Xbox Live Arcades. I think I have almost 200 games on that hard drive when I pull up my Live Arcade.
Yeah, and I was really upset about when I went to Xbox One, those didn't carry over. But thankfully, they're doing backwards compatibility, and more of them are being adding in there. And if I own it, as soon as it becomes available, it just pops up in my ready to download list, and I'm like, okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. I'm not completely losing them.
That's awesome.
But it worked better, I think, for the Wii when that went from Wii to Wii U. Everything carried over. I just had to go to Wii mode, which was fine, and it worked. I had everything. So I don't know. Excuse me. But with that battery, I need something to drink, honestly. But with the battery life, you're getting about 3.5 hours playing The Legend of Zelda. If you're sitting somewhere, if you're sitting there not plugged into anything for 3 hours, you're probably stuck in a car or something where you could just get a car charger.
Or everyone wants to watch a movie, and you got to have family time.
As you're just quietly playing with the Switch.
Okay.
But they did announce that it has, and they confirmed it actually. We kind of knew about it beforehand. It uses the USB-C connector,
which I think is genius.
Yeah, it's a
universal. That's a smart move.
Yeah, because if you get a USB-C cable, you can charge it. Doesn't matter where, doesn't matter how, you can do it. Be it a USB port, your own wall adapter, car charger, whatever. The plug that comes with it, I found out, is a set cable. It's just a wall plug. There's not a USB end on it. It's just because it's the AC adapter with the console.
That's fine.
You can easily get replacements because they're becoming more of a standard for everything. The micro USB, my phone's probably the last device that's going to have it that I have, that I'm buying new. Everything else is moving on to USB-C because you can't make it backwards. Like your phone, you try and remember which way it is. You're playing with it, trying to get it to plug in.
Right.
USB-C,
it's like iPhones and stuff.
Yeah, but a better one.
Well, I'm just saying in an example, you can switch it. It doesn't matter which direction.
They didn't go USB-C because they could charge more for the Lightning. Anyways. But that adds in the fact, though, like if you're out there, like I've got this really nice battery I bought like back with Pokemon Go and all that stuff for your phone. All of that still works. You can still plug in your Switch to that and use it to charge your device while you're out and about. And a lot of people have those batteries now. So that kind of makes the battery point almost moot for a lot of it. I mean, a lot of places, if you're traveling, you've got ways to charge things now.
Yeah.
And USB-C is a very quick charge too. So it may not take nearly as long to get a full good charge on it than it would before. They did confirm the system has a capacitive touchscreen. So it's a multi-touch, no stylus required touchscreen. So
that was a concern a lot of people, including myself, had when the first tease of the Switch is this thing going to be touchscreen, because they wouldn't touch on that, no pun intended, when it first was out. I don't remember when the next night or whatever, when it was on Jimmy Kimmel, did they do anything with the touchscreen, or was that revealed at that point?
No,
I didn't watch it.
When he pulled it out of the dock, he kind of hid it because he didn't want to see the interface, and he got through it and gave it back to him, which we've now seen a live transfer, like pick it up, hit the buttons, and I think it takes all of 3 seconds, and you're switched between the two of them.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Even on the Treehouse, I didn't get to see the transitions and whatnot. They were already just playing it. So,
well, there's a whole bunch of people that I really don't like right now that were in New York. They got to play the Switch already. But they got Yes.
Yes. Moving on.
But they got to play it, mess around with it, use the Joy-Cons and everything. But they could video all of it. So they were able to show playing the game, and he just snaps the controllers on the side, picks up the whole system, hits L and R, and he's back in. Just like that.
What is it? Pause?
Yeah, it kind of pauses and just wants you to confirm the buttons are in. And you just click the shoulders and you're back in the game, no problem. And going to the TV is even faster if you just plug it in. You're good.
I'm wondering because a couple of some of the videos I had seen, even the non-English speaking ones, like last night, they made it sound like, and it could be this way, I don't know, but they made it sound like that when it's plugged in, what do they call it, the ZR, ZL, or something, the rail left and rights that are on the top.
Joy-Cons.
Well, on the Joy-Cons, the two left and right rail buttons, as they kept calling it. If those are going to be depressed, when it's in the system, to let it know. That's what it kind of sounded like. They're like, these are the buttons that will let it know when it's into the screen. I just always worried with those pressed in like that constantly, is that going to wear it down? Or
No,
maybe I'm overthinking it.
Yeah, it doesn't do what you're thinking. It kind of locks in place a little bit differently. But the cool thing is, like, remember how now if you want to sync a Wii remote in or something, you have to go through the whole push the button and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
You literally just take it and be like, hey, I came over. I want to play. I brought my own Joy-Cons. You just walk over to the Switch, click your controllers in, click them back out. You're synced.
Nice.
That's it. You're done. As soon as they're in, they're synced up.
Another thing that I really liked was the lanyards. With the first presentation that I saw, I didn't really see too much on the lanyards. I remember they showed the lanyards and whatnot, but it wasn't until later in another presentation that I had saw that it's not going to be like the Wii U, or I'm sorry, the Wii for that matter, where you got to, needle thread this and get this around. It's actually just an apparatus that slides on that actually kind of extends the controller a little bit larger now with the buttons on top.
Better L and R buttons.
Exactly, and then boom, you're done. If you want to take that off, and you don't have to hold on. Just hold on.
And it's a quick release too. With the even with the strap part, it's really nice.
So,
and there are versions of those that let you charge the controllers while you play.
Ooh.
You were asking about that.
Yes, I was, and I hadn't seen anything with that because I'd worried maybe you're having a 2-person game and you got one that's dying because I forgot to plug these in last night. I know they got some ridiculous 20 hours.
20 hours.
Okay, maybe I didn't plug them in 3 days ago or something.
Yeah, I mean,
or
kind of figure
my kids left it on pause and turned the TV off or something. Something stupid. I'm gonna find a scenario where it's going to happen. It will happen, and it's like, oh, I'm winning. Boop boop boop. Low battery. No. So absolutely want to be able to charge it because we do that with all the consoles that we have now. You're playing a game and where's the charge cable? I'm not at a safe point at this moment. I need my charge cable. Let me plug it in and we'll go. I still sometimes play the Wii U. I'll have a charge cable on the other side of the room. So as I'm playing, I'm like, oh, hold on. Click. Game on.
The USB cable that I bought has been fantastic. It's even longer and more sturdier than the original Wii U charge cable. Yeah. And I can plug into anything. I don't have to be just the AC plug. I can plug it into the Wii U, or if I've got my laptop, I'll charge it off that while I'm playing.
The same as mine is I have I think it's Energizer. I don't know, sponsor free, whatever, no free plugs, but it's charges my 360, but then it has the USB in the front, which I usually charge my Pro controller for the Wii U all in one little setting. Well, it's off to the side.
Well, I saw that when I was at your house earlier because I was like, oh, one of these things is not like the other.
Oh yeah, for some reason, people keep putting the Pro controller into the cradle for the 360 while it's
I laughed at that.
And, yeah. Anyways, moving on.
I was like, it fits.
It fits. It doesn't charge, but it fits.
Day 4, the 360 does not know I'm not one of them.
But yeah, that's cool to know. Granted, I may never have a charge issue, but I have killed my 3DS in the middle of a game, out and about, and I try to keep that on the charger constantly.
Right. So they went and talked about, it's going to have Wi-Fi built into it for communication, which makes sense. You're not really going to have an Ethernet port in something like this. There is they do have an adapter you can get where you can just plug it in and use the Ethernet cable that way via USB, which is the same one that worked on the Wii or the Wii U. So you can, I've already got one that works great. So I just use that. I'll just, leave that plugged in. So when I'm playing online at home, I'll have a wired connection, which is always preferable. Cat, quit scratching my couch. All right. So that goes back to the whole craziness of the cat's trying to claw my stuff.
Moving on.
The 8 systems can connect for a local wireless multiplayer.
Talk about game night.
Like, we could do that on the 3DS and it was great, but we're talking about a console with this much power that we can do that, and they could all be on TVs if we want. They don't have to be just portable mode. They could be an actual LAN party set up. Bring your dock and have TVs set up and ready to go. And good Lord, we're playing games.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Smash Brothers.
Mario Kart.
Oh yeah, because
Mario Kart,
sure
you would all need
that
your own
coming out.
screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers, you would just need one screen. You'd be playing against each other. So I could see it, using an adapter. Right. Which they might be able to do it, but Mario Kart, Splatoon.
Yeah.
You
Oh.
could do a 4-on-4 local match without
Absolutely.
right there.
That's another thing. Since you brought that up, do we know any more details about Splatoon 2? Say, like a local match with that? Because a lot of the times, the only thing you can do locally now are the balloon popping games, and
which is fun. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's fun, but after a couple of rounds,
we'll
especially
get to that one when we get to Splatoon. We'll cover that in a little bit. I want to keep going through the console itself.
Okay.
So next up, they talked about the Joy-Cons, which I know we've brought up a lot of it, but the right Joy-Con, they do differentiate them. There's the left Joy-Con and the right Joy-Con, as we've mentioned before.
You got a plus and minus on
them. Here's a cool thing. Those little slide locks you're talking about have the opposite symbol. So you know what they connect
which
to.
Goes to which, yeah.
Plus to minus, minus to plus. I was like,
I thought it was plus to plus.
One of those. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Once you have
I
it,
know that they come. I know they have the colored version, so if you don't want a black lanyard extension on your red neon, you can actually have red on red.
I went with a black one. I've got a nice clean. I wanted the clean look on the system, so I went all black. I'm gonna get the colored ones later on. You got one of the last colored ones available too. There's only like
yes, left even better. Even better. To be honest with you, though, if they had if it was just a red and red one, I probably would have done that one. And it's weird too, because most of my systems I've purposely been getting in the last few years or the last decade or so. I've been aiming to get all the black ones ever since after Xbox 360. I wanted to get a black one, but I hadn't. But like the Wii U, I make sure they're all the black ones. I don't know. It's just it's making it more elite.
That one. But they are releasing the controllers later on by themselves.
Yeah.
So you can get the red and blue. And here's the kicker. They're the opposite color of the ones that come with it. So then you can have both red or both blue on your system if you decide to.
There we go.
For your OCD, you won't have, all the lefts are red. Right. You can tweak it how you want it to.
Nice.
So
and they'll probably come out like they did with the Smash Brothers with all the different colored ones. The Samus, the Zero Blue, the Yoshi, the Mario. And
I kind of hope they do that for some of them, and I hope they also, I hope they do different kinds,
like a Pro Controller versions of 19 colors.
Well, give me a left Joy-Con that has an actual D-pad, or maybe I want the right Joy-Con but with both the sticks on the top. Different things like that. Yeah, it wouldn't work as well for using them as as other controllers, but for the actual console, I'd be willing to pay the difference and keep those on there and use the other ones for something else,
Yeah.
Let me customize.
And that might be third party. I don't know.
Depends. I don't know if they'd be able to do that.
And granted, to go back with the third party and the Joy-Cons, it would probably be a little bit hard for them to do, not only because of the HD motion control and everything, the accelerometers and the gyroscopes, all that stuff, but also the cameras, that are on them.
Yeah, that camera we're going to get to in a minute. That is going to be weird.
I was shocked when I heard about that.
So the right Joy-Con has the NFC in it for read-write ability for amiibos and things like that.
Which is awesome.
You tap them to the joystick. Yeah. I guess the joystick tells it it's there. And it's got your home button, just like it did, functions on the 3DS and the Wii U and the Wii. The left one has the capture button, which at first you can tap it at any time to take screenshots, which you can share and look at.
On social media.
Right. And later on, it will be able to do video. I'm hoping they'll integrate something like Twitch or something into it. It'd be kind of cool to be able to stream You know, if I'm playing Splatoon, I want to stream it online.
They're going to start doing a monthly service and whatnot. I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo would have their own version of Twitch and whatnot. You know, the Nintendo Live.
Maybe. I mean, I can still use my existing Elgato to stream it. So I'm going to be able to stream no matter what.
Right.
So.
But they found that feature in there for those who don't have it. I don't know.
Yeah, but if it's built in, I'd be able to use it while it's maybe in handheld mode. You know, which I could not stream it if I'm in handheld mode.
Yeah.
Both controllers have motion controls built in, which has finally been confirmed. Everyone was kind of iffy about that. So you can get your waggle on. And, you know, whenever you do the, I love this when they coined, when you use the two controllers as 2-player modes, like if we're playing a game against each other, they actually refer to it as sharing the joy.
Okay. Cheesy.
Oh, they were puntastic.
Yeah.
We talked about the different colors available, red and blue, which is what you ended up going with. The neon red, neon blue. Yeah. And then the system does come with the Joy-Con strings. So you can lock those in and use them. Yeah, it comes with a set of those, so they're already there. I'm really curious about the HD rumble. You know, their example was, I can feel there's a piece of ice.
How many ice
2 and 3 and
I'm curious about this too. Even when they were playing the 1-2 switch and milking the cow game, which is weird. I'll probably play it once, but they said you can even feel the vibrations, as you're doing it, as if it was pulling on an udder type deal. And I'm thinking that's weird, but still, just the concept though is this whole new vibrations and whatnot. They like to try new things, and I think this could work out. I mean, when we started getting the Dual Shock, where you had the 2 different offset motors, and it would feel a little bit different than what we were used to. So,
right. Well, I mean, even I remember the N64 when Star Fox came out. That had it was multiple motors in the one thing. How that changed it, yeah. And then the Xbox One, they have the rumbles and the triggers, which I thought was kind of weird at first until I started using it for like Forza and things like that, and I'd be racing and I could feel like, oh, my right wheel went off the road, or this is happening, I hit a bump.
Cool.
Or if I'm playing different, like Gears of War, use the chainsaw, you feel the pushback on it or things like that. So it's like there's uses for this that I could see, but actually having it as the entire controller could be really cool, not just the triggers.
Yeah.
So the other thing that popped up on the right Joy-Con that kind of caught me by surprise, I was wrong. I originally assumed that little eye meant, hey, it's going to work like a Wii remote, like you can have a sensor bar and move it around. No, it's an infrared depth camera.
Yeah.
Well, the Wii remotes are cameras also, but completely different.
Yeah, but see, they use the examples that it can be able to tell paper, rock, and scissors, and I'm like, you guys already leaked out what one of your games are going to be.
Well, I mean, there's one of them, like the 1-2 switch. There's like an eating mini game where you hold it.
I will not play that game. That looks so stupid. I'm not putting a camera in front of my face, 2 inches from your mouth, and you're supposed to eat as fast as No, I'm not going to play that stupid game.
You're going to play it.
I'm marking that off my list.
I will. I won't have to bring my Switch. You already have your own. We'll play it over there. But it makes me wonder, like, what can they do with it? This is one of those new technologies where everyone's like, oh, I don't see why it's here. And I'm like, that's kind of the beauty. It's a new thing. We should figure out what you can do with it. Yeah. And they gave some interesting examples, but I'm curious what the rest of it could be. I mean, here's a weird one. What if you're playing a baseball game and you do the actual like catcher's symbols for your pitcher?
Well, how
put the
far?
Controller down.
Yeah, how far can you? It's that'd be kind of weird though. Just the position. Why do you have the camera aiming at your crotch? I'm throwing a signal.
Well, you just hold it down there sideways and throw a signal. I'm just trying to think of things you could do with it.
No, I know what you're saying.
And depending on how accurate it is, that could be a way of using sign language for something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's one of those that it's neat, but I have to actually see what can be done with it before I can really figure out what else you could do. It's a new thing. I don't know.
And they might just be putting out there, not completely sure what they want to do with it or what they expect of it, hoping that indie gamers or third parties, are going to come out with the ideas with the technology that they're putting out there, and then go from there. Suggestions from gamers, or I kind of have a community thing about it. What would you like to see? We have it. Here's the availability of it. What would you like us to use this for? So,
yeah, I mean, you could set it up facing towards your head, where you're using the other Joy-Con as a controller, and it can tell like the angle of your head and stuff like that, maybe to control things, almost like a mini Kinect.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a possibility as well. All right, so after they showed off the Joy, excuse me.
Can we get a water in here?
Yeah, God, I need one.
The host needs a water. Avion!
I usually have one, but we were in such a hurry to set up today, I didn't get one. So they started showing off the games after this. Yeah, my bad. So they started showing off 1-2 Switch, which is the game we've been talking about, which is kind of like a mini compilation or mini game compilation.
Did they say how many games are going to be in 1-2 Switch?
No, they've shown off, I think, like 8 of them so far.
They showed a bunch, and they said that wasn't near all of them.
Yeah, each one has got a video of real people doing the actions to kind of show how it works.
Right.
Which some people think this should have been a pack-in, and others think, I kind of look at it this way, like Wii Sports and Nintendo Land. I love both of them. We still play them. They're hilarious. But people complain to no end, oh, I don't want this game. I'm paying too much. It's, I should be able to pay less and not get it.
That's not for everybody.
Which I get, but that's kind of you can't just get everything for free all the time.
But and I think I might have been one of those too. I'm like, this Wii Sports, this is stupid. I wouldn't play this, or I wouldn't want to buy it. But then when I actually started playing it, I'm like, okay, this is kind of fun. Because a lot of people are worried about minimalizing, the standards that we're used to today. You go to this, think like the Miis that came out there. You had Xbox with their avatars, which looked kind of cool. And then Nintendo came out with the Miis that were, they look like the little, one of those little people things.
Well, that's the thing. The Miis came first.
Oh, okay. Well,
the avatars didn't come until years later.
Well, okay. Well, then there you go. And it's like, what I'm saying is it seems like they dumbed it down so much, and even to say the Wii Sports games, they're too cartoony. And I know that's what a lot of people complain about is Nintendo is too cartoony, but they're not worried about cartoons. All the bells and whistles and the shiny sparklies to get you pulled in. They're there to make the games fun. That's what the Wii Sports did, and the games were freaking entertaining and fun.
Yeah, they still are. The Miis themselves, though, were really good caricatures of people. That was the whole point of it. They didn't want to go for realism. They wanted a caricature. But that was able to transfer between games on the DS, the 3DS, the Wii, the Wii U. Those characters carry over, and they could vary them on each game to make them fit while keeping the caricature part in there. And we're already seeing now that they're going to be on the Switch, too. They haven't officially announced it, but during their video showing some of their games, there was one that had a Mii doing something.
Okay. Because I didn't watch a video, but there was one I had seen floating online talking about there's not going to be a Miiverse, there's not going to be Street Pass, but I didn't watch it because it wasn't an official release. It was just somebody else's, so I didn't bother.
That one's official. Miiverse is not going to be there, and Street Pass won't.
Okay.
I wish Street Pass would be, but they're saying that's going to continue on the 3DS for Street Pass. So maybe they'll link together somehow, but I would have liked to have had it be there, but maybe that would have been a drain on the battery more. To keep the Wi-Fi on, I don't know.
I don't know. If you got it plugged up into the docking station and whatnot, then I don't know.
They could also do it if you have a 3DS, because a lot of people do have those. That could be your point of Street Pass or something. I don't know. But so the 1-2 Switch, I'm gonna get it. I think it's like $50 when it comes out.
I'll play yours before I decide I'm going to get it, because I don't know if it's just going to be a novelty thing, which I would enjoy it once or twice and and then never play it again.
Well, it would be one of those games I buy basically for game night. We do a weekly game night here.
Right.
It goes into rotation. Every couple of weeks we'll break it out and be like, hey, let's do this tonight. And, that'll be part of it right there with the other games like Nintendo Land, Wii Sports.
Right.
You don't know Jack, like the Jackbox.
Mario Party, which we haven't played that forever. I've been dying to play You don't know Jack. But you know what? They did have a fun, when they did the Treehouse Live thing, they did have a kind of a cool, the loser picks out of the little coin. They got the little, for those that didn't see this, they've got the little mysterious question mark things from the Mario series, candy tins. And what they did is they had emptied the candy out of them, had about 8 or 10 of them, I don't know, and they put little items in there, edible items. And so the loser of these 1-2 switch games would have to go and randomly pick one and eat it. And we're talking a jalapeno, a roasted onion, garlic, hot something another, and some they didn't like. Some they were like, "Oh, this is good." But
one was an olive with licorice in the center.
Yeah, black licorice with an olive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know
he's like, he took a bite. He's like, that was disgusting.
Yeah, this is horrible. Yeah, but no, that's an actual cool fun game to actually increase the experience level of something simplistic and minimalistic as 1-2 switch. You can, you know, I don't want to say that some people can make it a drinking game, but you could Bing Boozled it to make it even easier.
It could be. I mean, they're adults. They can.
Yeah, you can do the whole Bean Boozle thing or whatnot, or make it worse. Mix it up and have a spin wheel, and then whatever you want to put on that wheel. But
right.
You know. It was cool. Again, always thinking outside the box. Nintendo will do that, and that's why I usually give full faith into the company when a lot of people are hating and trolling all these things like, "Oh, this is stupid, it ain't going to work." I'd say, "Hey, give it a shot." I mean, they only had a couple of failures. You can't win them all. Even if Virtual Boy was a failure, I still play it. I still like it. I still own one and will buy games for it. Whatever.
I still enjoy mine.
Yeah, it gives me a headache. Sure, I get a little nauseous, whatever. But, I mean, they had to try it. No one else was doing it until now. Now everyone's doing the VR. You got PlayStation doing VR, and you got your cell phones doing VR. Nintendo started this, or attempted this, a long time ago.
1994.
And there you go. So, Power Glove. Yeah, it was a big joke. But, I mean, you know, the Power Glove was cool. It was a cool idea. They tried things. So I'm always down with Nintendo trying things.
I still love you found a computer adapter for that. We have to get one.
Oh, what were they, like $5? USB adapter? Down. 4 flat tires down.
What are you doing? I'm trying to open a file.
I can't, you know, click and zoom or it's so bad.
You have to reformat your hard drive. Oh,
I'm trying to play my Joy-Cons with my Power Glove when I'm cross modulation over here. But yeah.
So 1-2 Switch is a launch game. I am getting it at launch. I've already got it pre-ordered for March 3rd. The next game they showed off was one that I was really confused at first, but I kind of see how this could work. It's called Arms.
Arms, yeah.
You hold the Joy-Cons in your hand like this. You have the triggers at the top you can still use, which I love the fact that you can use the buttons in different angles. It's not just, you know, a waggle. You've got different functions for it, which for VR, if they don't get VR, they've missed on a huge, huge opportunity because it just screams this would work for VR.
Right.
Which that's another part of my VR theory, along with Street Fighter, is I wonder if ARMS has a VR mode. But that's why it's not going to be a launch game. Maybe they haven't shown the VR part of it yet.
Yeah.
Right. That's one of my theories.
Because for the most part, even with the video, they're showing, just like they keep talking about 1-2 switches, where you're not so much looking at the screen. You're looking at your opponent. You're eye to eye. That's what they were really emphasizing with the previous, you know, mention. And even in the trailers and the presentation of it, they had the two people looking eye to eye, not so much on the screen. Even though the screen, the gameplay looks beautiful, but there is a 3D gameplay in it. So yeah, that would make sense to have it. I mean, if you're throwing curveball punches, then yeah, you might want to see this in a VR setting.
Yeah, you do have to look at the screen to play it because that's the way it works. But I get what you're talking about, where they're kind of, because you're facing the other digital opponent.
But they were showing how they would block and dodge, and you know, sometimes you might be watching the person and seeing what they throw at you because it's all watching their hands. You're like, oh yeah, whatever.
Right, because you're holding the controllers like this, and you're using the triggers on top for some of your punches as well as your jumps and dodges. And then you have to move your hands together to slide around. So you could jump up and actually, you know, move yourself. And with the enhanced motion, it should work really well. And then you actually throw the punches, but you can turn and twist the punches as you go to arc it.
Curve the bullet.
It looks really fun. Like I thought it was stupid as all get out for the first 2
I'm going to get
minutes.
that one. You're already
then
saying, I'll
it's-
get one through Switch. I'm getting ARMS when it comes out,
I'm gonna get it too, but it's gonna be delayed a little bit more. So
which is fine.
it comes
I
out
don't
in
want too
this.
many games.
I want to say I went back and they were saying ARMS a little bit later, but then during the presentation I could have swore they said it was March 3rd. So
It seemed like it was going to be a launch. You told me it was going to be a later release. I was kind of shocked. I thought that they were mentioning it was going to come out, but if it's delayed, that's fine.
It might be March 3rd. Japan, America may be delayed a little bit. Is what it might be.
Maybe. I don't mind the delay in a lot of these games because Zelda is going to take up a great deal of time.
This thing has a cartridge slot. I thought it was just a portable Zelda box.
Right. I got that new Zelda console. Yeah.
The Zelda Switch.
The Zelda Switch.
The next one they showed, and this is one you want to talk about, was Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
Which everyone was wondering, is this going to be a remake of the first one? You know, they were kind of surprised they went with an entire new game, like Caleb mentioned earlier. They're doing a full sequel. I
don't think it's been too soon. You know, he was saying that it's a little too soon to have another one. That game's been out for over a year, has it not?
Yeah, they still added a little bit more stuff not too long ago.
So it's just, it hasn't collected any dust, and that's why people are like, this is still new.
We need to play that tonight. We haven't played in a while.
Okay, I'm down.
Because my games got deleted, and I never went back to it because I got frustrated. I lost everything.
So I haven't played. I haven't played since we last played, but I played last night, as a matter of fact. But just doing some of the missions and whatnot, getting frustrated.
Yeah, because it was one of the.
I think the last time we played was when they did the Transformers special.
Yeah.
You know, so
that was.
I was a little upset that they wouldn't let you keep the clothing and whatnot. I'm sure there's a licensing deal and whatnot, whatever. But
I'd pay for it. I would have paid for that.
I would too. I would have too. I did finally. I think at one point I opened the samurai suit with the amiibos and whatnot, but I haven't gone back really since then.
I got to go back and redo those because that's part of what I lost in my game save. I'd finished all of that, and I was like, oh.
Well, you need it powered up and get the there's an update on it. So
okay.
I forgot how big it was.
The game itself, they're showing, of course, there's new customization, new character styles, a whole bunch of new maps.
New weapons.
New specials.
Updates on old weapons. I like how you can take the roller and actually sling the paint forward now.
Yeah, you could do that a little bit, but now it's more of like an actual hammer type thing, which is cool.
Yeah.
They had some kind of like spinning top that you could shoot out that drops paint wherever it goes. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what special was. You see that giant rain cloud like just going across the map.
Well, then they had
paint.
The dual like rocket launcher things that you pulled out and they just shot them straight up in the air and kind of airstriked on somebody.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of like, you know what? The whole point of this game is to paint everything.
Yeah.
Let's just go hog wild with it. Let them paint, because it makes it more hectic at the end of it. Like, who won? Because there's paint everywhere.
Every freaking where.
You're really quickly painting over each other's stuff.
My question is, and you might have an answer for this or not, but when they did the presentation, he came out with physical versions of the new dual shooters. Yeah. And the way they were talking, they made it to me, it seemed like they said that you'd be able to play the game like this and also control aiming and whatnot. I want peripherals of those guns that I would snap my controllers into. They do not need to come out and tease like that. Those things are awesome. I want those guns. Do you know anything about this? Okay.
I have not seen anything about this being officially released. I know they made squirt guns in Japan of Splatoon guns official. So I could see them being, water guns and stuff like that or whatever.
I'll zip tie the freaking thing on there. I don't care. I want these guns. They're awesome. They look like paintball guns, and it's Splatoon, so it's inkball guns. But that would be kind of cool. Kind of a paintball gun attachment.
I haven't watched all. I haven't watched all of the Treehouse Live stuff yet. I'm going to go back and watch what happened today as well.
There's no way. It's days.
It's about 5 hours a day, so it's 10 hours of content I have to go through.
No.
I'll do it.
And like I said, I was watching last night. It was nothing English.
You were watching that. See, I'm just talking about the North American Treehouse.
I know.
I haven't even seen the Japanese ones yet.
They had different stuff.
I have to go back because they got more content for Mario. They actually got to see it. So I will go back and find that just to watch it. I don't even care what they're saying. I just want to see Mario.
I was watching that game to Switch without English, so it was still entertaining.
Yeah. We'll finish up Splatoon, and then we'll talk about Mario because holy crap. But Splatoon 2, I really hope they allow for LAN connection. I want to be able to hook up 8 of those switches and play a 4-on-4 match anywhere. Not have to be online, you know.
That'd be awesome.
That would, you know, we were joking. I was talking with Jeremy, my oldest. Like, hey, the band trips, 8 people have, you know, have switches. We could be doing Mario Kart in the middle of the bus, or we could be doing Splatoon or whatever else against each other, sitting all around that bus, you know, for hours on end, just shooting each other.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
There was a shooting on the bus today. No worries. It was with the Switch.
It was all paint.
It's all paint. Ink. It's ink.
Ink. Yeah, ink. My bad. All right. So Splatoon 2 has got a summer 2017 release. So that's going to be that's their big summer game. They want to have that one released when everyone can play it. And they're spacing these out. Like, there's more games coming to fill in the areas, but they're showing, like, here's the big flagpoles for the rest of the year and into the beginning of next year. So, you know, we have stuff coming.
And I'm not mad with that. I need to spread the spending out. So,
yeah, but they need to show that there's support. There's games coming. That's their thing.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, let's go and see what this, you know, we're going to get it out of the way now. Sadly, this game is holiday. I wish it was launched because it's so beautiful. But it is Super Mario
from
Odyssey.
Zelda.
Yeah, I would have to debate on what to play. I would actually be like, because that Mario is so nice looking.
It looks crazy. It looks crazy.
But it opened up on New Donk City. It looks like New York City, which the whole city is like Donkey Kong reference. Even though there's no Donkey Kong, it's all people and little gray suits and dresses and stuff. And they show a taxi cab go over, which the taxi cab, the front of it has, what was it? It's actually a reference to the original. It's like 81 DN or something. It's like mentioning Donkey Kong's release date.
Right.
On the cab that goes over the first time, if you stop and look at it.
I will.
But you see the little manhole start getting bumped, and all of a sudden Mario comes out. So you have this more realistic style world with this very animated cartoon Mario, and you're like, I feel like Who Framed Roger Rabbit just popped out.
Yeah.
You know, where you've got that separation of reality and cartoon. And then he just goes hog wild, just running around everywhere, jumping on stuff, swinging up
on the cabs and running up the buildings and overlooking the cityscape.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of back in the Bronx, I guess. But and we're like, man, that's kind of weird. Like, it's in a realistic world, but then they start showing other worlds that are nowhere near realistic.
No, it's back to Mario cartoony style.
You know, flat shaded, beautifully colored vegetable world. You know, where he's running around with a giant turnip, which is like a Mario 2 reference right there.
Yeah.
They're showing other stuff where, like, you know, the Hammer Brother has got a chef's hat and he's throwing pots instead of hammers.
Yeah.
They're throwing pans and stuff like that.
They introduced a new weapon too.
Yep, the hat.
The hat, which has eyes, so this is going to be an interesting story. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Zelda did that. They had Minish Cap where the hat was alive.
That's true. That's true.
Maybe it's Mario's turn for that.
And this thing is like a boomerang, and he can throw it and actually jump on it, so it can extend your jumping capabilities. And
yeah, it didn't look like it was a weapon. Like, I didn't see him attack anybody with it, but he used it to get around. Like in the cityscape, he threw it out between 2 skyscrapers, hopped on it, and then hopped off to the other side.
Yeah.
And got the hat back. So it's more of a way to traverse the area than to attack things.
And it might be able to get higher. Like the other day, I knocked the dust off Mario Maker, which was weird. And I played one of the games where there was a challenge where you had to get over this long wall. And of course, everyone had their little Miiverse text and whatnot popping up trying to help you out, where you had a spring and you had to throw the spring specifically and jump in the same time and hit it while it was in the air to jump over this. So I'm wondering if maybe they can use that same idea with a hat, trying to get over higher obstacle courses where you can throw it up, try to jump up to it, and use that as a new, you know.
There's a possibility. The other thing is, I think the hats, there's going to be more than one, and that's the power-up system. Because they keep showing these little stores and places called Crazy Caps, which is a hat.
Oh, yeah.
They have the hat with 2 C's, and they look like
I didn't catch
eyes.
on to that. Okay.
So they think you're going to get these hats, and that's what's going to
maybe each hat will have a different ability.
Well, Miyamoto, back during the Jimmy Fallon showing of the Switch last year, actually was wearing a shirt that had Mario in a samurai outfit. And everyone's like, we've never seen that before. And it was only that one. And they're wondering if that was a hint. Maybe you can get a samurai hat and use some kind of weapon or do something with it in one of these worlds because he's traveling between worlds or dimensions or something. It's a giant sandbox game, as they actually referred to it, which
Right.
there really hasn't been a sandbox style Mario since Mario 64, where you had a big hub world to run around in. So I'm kind of glad to see that coming back. I mean, there was Isle Delfino from Sunshine, but that was a little bit different, I guess. I don't know. Everything they showed was beautiful. That when he went into that forest, I loved how that looked. You remember that?
Yeah.
Reading something.
Yeah, getting a message. Multitask.
Yeah, that's how it works. But yeah, that Mario game, sadly, like I said, won't be until the holidays, but looks that's going to sell a lot of Switches. People won't get, if you don't get it at launch, you will get it for Mario.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's wrong with Zelda?
Right? That game is huge. All right, so Monolith Soft is the next one that came up. They actually showed off, and I'm not kidding. Jeremy was almost hyperventilating. He was freaking out so bad. He was so happy and excited that they showed off Xenoblade 2. And he's just like, is it a prequel? Is it a sequel? And he starts going off on theories. And I'm like, so this is what I look like. But it's another giant, massive game that, we'll have to. I'm glad it's a portable because it's a giant RPG. And like, I love Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's a beautiful game, but it's so big. I can't just sit here and play it the whole time. But if I can take it with me, I can play it on the go. And that's how I've been playing bigger RPGs now, is a portable version of them.
Yeah.
So next up is the Team Ninja and I guess Tecmo Koei Fire Emblem Warriors, which is kind of like Hyrule Warriors, but with Fire Emblem characters. Once again, Jeremy was freaking out because he is obsessed with Fire Emblem. He loves the series. He's played every single one of the games, beginning to end, multiple times, trying to keep everyone alive and do everything. He loves them. We got a tease on that, but we're getting a full Fire Emblem, I guess, Nintendo Direct on the 18th, just about Fire Emblem. So I have a feeling we're going to see more about that game, maybe hear about the Fire Emblem mobile game, and a few other things as well. All right, we'll go through these real quick. The next one, well, next three, I guess, Dragon Quest 10, 11, and then Dragon Quest Warriors 1 and 2. These were shown off. Dragon Quest Warriors 1 and 2 is basically like Hyrule Warriors, but Dragon Quest. But they're taking both the games. I have the first one on PlayStation 4, but they're taking the second one that just released, the original one, and combining them together on one cartridge, and you can just play them that way. So the Switch will have, kind of a multi-game, which is nice. Dragon Quest 10 and 11 is like a new RPG, and the other one's like an MMO. So we have no idea if these are going to come here or not.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still import them, but they are going to be very Japanese heavy. So you need to know how to read Japanese to actually, or speak it to do this. So we'll see. Shin Megami Tensei was an Atlas RPG they showed off. Square Enix showed off a few games, including one that was really beautifully done called Project Octopath Traveler.
What?
Yeah, I mean, it's an 8-path game is what they're talking about, but it's from the guys that did Bravely Default. It's a really beautiful 2D, 3D style game. I'll have to send you the link so you can see the video, but I think you would, even if you weren't interested in the type of gameplay, we can go from there. And also for the chat stuff, I actually can't see it for some reason. So Brent, if you can talk with people in chat, that might help, because I can't see the chat. Awesome.
I'm just saying, I saw that Swagmaster Flex is saying what's up. So.
Yeah. For some reason, I can't see the chat. I'll have to figure out how to do that.
I've got it on the phone.
Oh, hey, there it goes. Now I can see it.
I got you back, yo.
All right. But yeah, Project Octopath Traveler, you need to see that one because it's just.
You have to send me something afterwards.
Yeah, I will. All right. So next up, we had Sega come out, which Sega had nothing to say. Like, they've got a bunch of support for the system, But literally, they were like, "Yeah, we're going to support the system and look at stuff." That's it.
Good job, Nintendo.
Yeah, like, I mean, they're throwing support behind it. There's 3 games already we know of coming to it, which is the Sonic Project 2017, Sonic Mania, which is the one that I'm excited about, and then there's the Puyo Pop versus Tetris.
Yeah, I saw that. That's interesting looking. I didn't know that was Sega.
It's a versus game. Yeah, it's a versus game with puzzles.
2 different ones at the same time. I saw like the Puyo Pop or whatever you call it, and then they had the Tetris on. Yeah, they had the Tetris on the side, and that was their form of versus instead of doing the same game at the same time.
Yeah, it's an interesting one when they do that. Now, after that, we finally got confirmation that Skyrim is coming to the Switch. I almost said Wii U.
Cool.
Because Skyrim, did you mess around with that at all on 360?
Not at all. I've seen so much about it. I wanted to try it, but no, I haven't had a chance to actually invest the time in to try it. But I will definitely give it a whirl, especially with Switch. I was trying to say Twitch. This is a challenge. Why Switch? They should have come up with something better, but whatever.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. It switches between it and whatever.
Yeah.
But most people played Skyrim, and I find this funny. I was talking to somebody the other day. They were complaining like, "Oh, the Switch is just getting this game we got years ago. Who's going to want that?" And they're all getting upset. And I'm like, you guys just a few months ago were like stupidly excited that it was coming out on the Xbox One and PS4. So like, was it some magic time period between 4 months where the game is okay to come out? Oh, now it's too old. Like, what? Who makes these rules? Where does it come from? So I don't know. We don't know if it's going to have mod support, but it does look like it's a special edition, so it'll be the enhanced graphics and should hopefully have all the DLC and content. I hope. It will be really, really stupid of them to release it without the DLC.
Yeah.
Every version of it comes with it now, so you would be purposely hobbling it if you didn't do it. All right, so probably one of the most awkward moments of the night was when Suda51 came out to talk about Travis Touchdown and No More Heroes coming back, because if you watch the presentation, the translator basically lost it. He couldn't do his job.
I don't remember this.
He had a breakdown.
Was this off the first? Was this on the first presentation?
Yeah, this was on the live one that was Thursday night.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, when he came out to talk, the translator just kind of had a breakdown. Like, he couldn't do his job. It was awkward and hilarious. I think they went back and cleaned it up, but it was so.
Oh, man, I want to see that now. Yeah. It might have been, you know what? That might have been a time when, because I was streaming it on my phone, and then when I was trying to get it to come up on the Fire Stick, because I was getting a phone call.
Oh, I think that was.
It could have been about that time, and I finally got it to come up and whatnot. So,
yeah,
dang, I miss the awkward part.
It was incredibly awkward. It was great. So, all right, EA Games was up next, which people were hoping they would actually announce stuff. Like, they're wanting Battlefield 1 and all this other stuff, but EA's been really hesitant to support Nintendo since the Wii. They did not like the Wii U. There was a fairly public spat between the two companies where EA wanted control over all of their online services. Nintendo said no, so EA shunned them. So we're kind of going back and forth on that now. But I guess they're finally, making up and going from there. The only game they announced was FIFA, and a lot of people weren't very happy about that, but that's also one of the biggest selling games they have worldwide.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Madden. Yeah. I mean, everybody loves Madden. All these people like Madden, but FIFA sells way more than Madden does because it sells everywhere. You can take that game and sell it in every country Nintendo's launching on day one, versus Madden will only pretty much work in the US, and that's it. So I'm sure we'll probably get more support from EA later on. It just comes down to if they're going to try and pull the same crap with the launch of the Wii U, where they're going to give you a game and it's missing all of its content, or comes out months later and they expect you to pay full price for it and be broken. And then they throw a fit when they don't sell well enough, right, which happened a lot. Yeah. They released Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U, beautiful version of the game, but they wanted $60 for it when they released Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 for $60 on everything else with all the DLC included. at the same time, but didn't put it on the Wii U, which would have, could have used the trilogy. It had never been on Nintendo systems. These people didn't have access to them. So I don't know. We've already talked about what comes with the system itself, because that was pretty much the end of the games for there. They talked about some stuff afterwards on like the Treehouse, where they had the Street Fighter. What was it? Street Fighter 2 Ultra.
Ultra, yeah. I thought it was Ultra
the final, the final champions, or final challengers. Sorry,
final challengers. Yeah. Well, we hit Violent Ken.
Yeah, which I found out he actually did come from a previous game. It was one of the crossover titles. This is just the first time he's been used in an official Capcom game.
I figured they might have before, and I just didn't see it. It was just in that one screenshot. You had your popular evil Ryu, but then your Violent Ken. I thought it was just kind of a like Violent Ken. It sounds like a Barbie reject. He comes with a wife beater.
Oh Lord.
And a 40.
That's the regional Southern edition.
That's right.
Get
it with or without the tats. I love my Violent Ken.
That's horrible.
Oh, get yours today. Tell us. They're going to be suing me.
All right, so they went into what you get with the system. For $299, you get the console itself, the tablet, the left and right Joy-Con controllers, the wrist strap. You get the grip charger, which is nice, so you can actually make it into a controller. The docking station, which comes with HDMI and the AC adapter. Pro controller will be separate for $70.
Ouch.
Well, I looked at it, though, and I priced it out. An Xbox One controller cost you about $50-$60. Then the battery built in that you have to get that separate is like another $15 to $20. This has got the motion built in. The Pro controller is the controller, the battery built in, the motion, the NFC's built into it, and the HD Rumble's already in it. So it hurts, but I also get why it's a little bit more. Replacement Joy-Cons are $50 a piece, I think. But you can get a set of 2 for $80.
Wow. That's because of all the stuff in them, I guess.
Right. That's, once again, the batteries in there. You're getting 2 controllers. They basically come out to about $40 a piece.
Yeah.
Which is only a little bit more than what the Wii remotes used to go for. And a lot of even PS3 and PS4 controllers still go for that much or more. There's a lot of third-party accessories that are coming out. You can get, like Hori is making probably a little bit cheaper Pro controller that plugs in. I don't know if it plugs in. I think it's wireless. They've got a fight stick coming out, different kinds of docks. I don't think they have the video out part, but you can set them there. So, and of course, we already talked about the Joy-Cons come in red and blue. So, all right. And the last thing that they covered that we'll talk about, I guess, is the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
They waited till the last minute to say, oh, yeah, by the way, it's coming out March 3rd. Like, it will be a launch title. You're getting it.
Yeah, I remember that because they kind of stuttered around it. They asked, was it Miyamoto, and then they asked Reggie, and then they asked someone else. So we got to go to Tokyo. We got to go here. We got to go there. When's it coming out? I was like, would you just?
I'm like, come on.
Come on. What are you just stalling so you can like drag this out a little bit further? Just come on.
Basically, that's what they were doing. Yes, they were just kind of stretching it out.
Hey, we still got like 10 minutes left. Just drag it out.
But the game itself looks gorgeous. They showed more of a story trailer, and this is probably going to be one of the darkest Zelda since Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Which, Wind Waker had a bright and cel-shady design to it, but its theme was actually very dark. The game was incredibly violent compared to what people kind of thought of it. Twilight Princess had its own, dark theme as well, but Wind Waker got pretty bad. But this it's covering a 100-year time period. Apparently something had happened a century before, because he's talking to somebody, which they did release an English version of that trailer. All the text and everything is voice acted in English very, very well. Nintendo's finally doing voice acting for a Zelda game. I don't think Link is going to talk. I don't think Link should talk, but I'm okay with everyone around him talking.
You just want his sound effects.
That's kind of what they've done already. That's what they've shown, but he's never really been one to talk. It's almost like the Half-Life series. Gordon Freeman never says a single word in the entire series, but everyone around him talks and they convey everything via speech, and it works well. I think they could do that. They kind of did that with the Metroid game for some of them as well when they did Metroid Prime 3. Samus didn't really say much, but the characters around her could talk. So, but
You got to bring Metroid back up, huh?
Yeah. We'll get one eventually. Better.
New game coming out, Zelda. It looks amazing. Metroid. Fade away.
But the game itself looks massive. I mean, they were showing the variety of environments. Everyone was like, oh, it all looks the same because they were only showing that one little plateau during all their demos and stuff. So it looked very similar because they were in this one area. It was big, but it was still a self-contained area. But now they showed, deserts, snowing areas, other fields, forests, the ocean side, the water, up in the mountains for climbing. They showed a whole bunch of different environments and things popping up. But they showed, what was it? They showed looked like the town around the castle just being overrun by those creatures and just, everything's burning and blowing up and people being slaughtered left and right.
They talk about the calamity of Ganon.
Well, that's his actual name. It's called the Calamity Ganon.
Yeah.
That's the type, the big spirit or whatever that's trapped around the castle that's going around. So I don't know what's going on with that. I have no idea. But I don't know. This is supposed to be a much, much more difficult Zelda game as well.
Well, I'm down for it. I'm ready. I haven't bought. Well, I'd say I haven't bought a launch Zelda game, or when the Zeldas first come out, I always wait. But that's not true. The Two Worlds or whatever it was.
Oh, Twilight Princess was the Wii.
No. The 3DS.
Oh, Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds. I did get that when it came out, but
that was a good one.
For the most part, yeah. There's a few of the Zelda ones that I haven't been able to get into.
You've already got your Zelda pre-ordered, so you're getting this one when it comes out.
Oh yeah, definitely. This, like I said, that's why I'm not worried about the other ones. Gonna be a while till they come out because most of my Switch time will be Zelda time.
I'm sure it's going to take me a little while. I mean, even if I go through and rush through the story, there's so much to explore.
Oh, absolutely.
That month between that and Mario Kart will go by like nothing.
Oh man.
I will still be playing. Probably still be playing Zelda when I'm playing Mario Kart 2.
Yeah, get a call. Hey, dude, let's play some Mario Kart. I'm Zelda in it right now. Just chill.
Well, I mean, I know they showed off a little bit of Mario Kart. They didn't announce it, but I guess we can talk about that one too.
I love the Splatoon effect on the Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is what it's called. That comes out in April. Or I think, yeah, so we have about a month after the Switch launch that we're getting Mario Kart 8. But they've added, it's everything from Mario Kart 8, all the DLC, all the tracks they had, all of it's there. But they're also adding in new tracks, new characters, including the two Inklings, the Inkling boy and Inkling girl, and an entire full classic battle mode.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see that again. Because they're bringing back the bomb attack mode from Double Dash, which I really liked. They're bringing back, traditional battle mode from all the other ones.
What was the feather from?
That was from the very first Mario Kart. This is the first time it's appeared since the Super Nintendo.
And so what is it? You just jump over walls or jump over people, or
it lets you jump, is what it originally was. But you could hop over things, and people used to use it in the Super Nintendo to hop over parts of the wall to do shortcuts.
I got you. And
that's
see what the feather was introduced in the Game Boy, wasn't it? Super Mario Land.
Yep, that's correct.
Oh, we got that one.
Yep, that came out even before Super Mario World.
Yep. I did enjoy those games as well.
Brent knows his Mario.
You got the feathers, you got the carrots. Those were all in the Mario Land series. And I played the crap out of those on Game Boy.
Still have them too. They were kind of the weird little side ones, but they were quite interesting.
Yeah, because you had the submarine. That was always kind of cool.
Yeah, the first one I think
submarine
was
with some
kind of weird. The
torpedoes.
second one that you're talking about, the 6 golden coins, that was actually the introduction of Wario also, who kind of
Yeah.
took that whole series.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Which who would have thought he would evolve to the main character that he is today.
right? I got my little Wario and Waluigi sitting up here on the shelf behind me over on the side. Kind of just the two of them.
Which
But,
Wario?
It's the Mario series. Talk about the amiibos.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Anyways, so Mario Kart 8's another one of those I think will really push the multiplayer stuff. Oh God, I guess you're you seeing the chat.
No, I just now seeing it.
Jayzilla trying to be funny.
Hear about the new broom coming out? It's sweeping the nation. I don't know why. That's like the stupidest joke, but it gets me every time.
Oh Lord. Anyway.
Thanks, Jayzilla. Appreciate it.
Breaking it up there. But like I said, The Legend of Zelda is the big one for the Switch to show off what it can do. Mario Kart 8, I think, will be really good for it. Has to prove its online function because you realize we're going to have to eventually pay to play this Mario Kart online, which is the first one we've ever had to do.
Yeah.
Now the online will be free until the fall, so I think they're not really going to instigate that until later on, but still concerns me. But I don't know. But you will be able to use it for the 8-player local multiplayer. So, you can get people together and do that as well. Or if you've already got your Switch set up, people can come over and bring theirs. It will support split screen. So
right.
There's a lot of stuff you can do with that.
And it'd be kind of cool too. Well, I don't know how it would work. Say if you had multiple people over with their own Switches, of course they would see their own screen.
Right.
Well, no, never mind. I'm sitting there, I was like, what could the main TV, but you're not going to have a TV if you're having the screen in your hand. Ignore these random thoughts. I will move on.
Well, you can still have the TV. Like I could be playing on the TV and someone else could be sitting at a table playing on their Switch. And
yeah, but the TV would be your screen.
Switch,
It'd be,
yeah.
I was just saying, is there going to be like an overall that you can watch the whole race on one screen?
That would be cool if you could set one of them up for that, though.
Yeah,
so
but
watching can see the course or something.
Like a spectator switch or something.
I want that feature now, Brent. That could work.
Kind of like how people would do on Minecraft, where you may have the host enable flight and float above and be the camera while everyone else is building or battling.
Right.
To be the cameraman and whatnot. So, I don't know. That was just random thoughts.
I like that idea. That's actually kind of cool. All right. Some of the other games they announced Bomberman R, which is, I don't know who owns the rights to Bomberman right now, but it is from the original creator of Bomberman. And it is a launch game. It's coming out day one with massive multiplayer options, which is going to be great. So I want to play it. I love Bomberman games. I still go back and play them.
I just say, where did you go? You're like,
I was pulling up a web page. Sorry, I was trying to find out who actually is running it now.
I got you.
Yeah, it's called Super Bomberman R.
Super Bomberman R. I've seen a thumbnail, but have yet to watch a trailer on it. So
it looks like it does full 8-player too, which is nice.
And I did enjoy Super Bomberman back in Xbox Live Arcade 100 years ago. So I have to check this one out.
Yeah, we still go back and play the one we had on the Wii. You could buy because you could hook up. I need to rebuy it on an actual Wii because you could do 4 players on Wii remotes, 4 players on GameCube controllers, and that's how you did 8 players. But once I transferred everything over to the Wii U, I lost 4 of the players because I can't use GameCube controllers. The adapter won't work.
Really?
Yeah, you can only use that adapter for Smash Brothers, which I will be upset if they do not allow that to be used on the Switch for Smash Brothers. I mean, I'm fine with the fact it would only be during it being docked, but they have USB ports in that dock to use it.
Okay, I was about to say, do you know if there's any ports on there?
There's 2 USB 2.0 ports on the left side of the dock, and there's 1 USB 3.0 on the back, which I think is that USB 3.0 is going to be used for expansions.
Or external hard drive?
Well, they're not going to do external hard drives because think about it, you would lose all that space every time you picked up the Switch. It kind of breaks the use of it.
Touche.
But if it was like something that helped it process more data whenever it's plugged in, you could then have maybe you could play it in 4K if you have, this plugged into it. So think about, something like that where the portable side wouldn't be affected, but the TV could be enhanced or, some other function they could do. I don't know. I even joked about, maybe they could use that where you could plug it in and it's like a disk drive that supports GameCube, Wii, and Wii U control, discs. And you could just use it like a, virtual console like that.
That'd be cool.
Almost like a new version of the Game Boy Player, but just way better. I would easily drop $100 for that. So, anyways. All right. I think we're about done.
Is that a banana holder up there?
What?
You have a banana holder up on you. That's what that is.
Actually, I use that to hold headphones.
Oh,
my headphones hanging on that.
I keep bananas on the shelves. It's a Donkey Kong thing. You wouldn't understand.
I got to pick up that banana controller I bought the other day. So, but yeah, somebody recommended that to me. Like they use banana holders to hold their headphones. I was like, holy crap, this works really well. You can just wrap up the cord, hang it up there, and be done with it. So that's where I store my headphones. It got set up there because we're packing up the house.
And there's your life hack for the day.
Yeah. Which that's the other announcement. We are moving hopefully soon, the next month or two. So I know we've been kind of sporadic in packing and stuff, and it's been a little bit since last year since we did a show, but we should have a better studio set up eventually where we'll really be able to do the podcast. I'll be able to do more of my online streaming because that'll be set up with it. And we got some other stuff, which of course, Brent, you're helping me build a lot of this stuff as well.
Yes.
Including my Amiibo stand, which you might be able to buy eventually.
Who knows?
Brent will sell them. He'll make them and sell them to you. They're nice. Like they hold all.
Hopefully, we'll have a video of building those. At least that version.
Oh, we will.
So
If I get it,
I already have other versions I want to build. So.
Well, if I get it before the Switch launch, we can put the Zelda Amiibos on there.
That's true.
All right. Well, I'm happy with the Switch. How it's seen. $299. Yeah, it's a little bit expensive, but I was already kind of prepared for. I was actually planning on $350. Remember, that's what we first talked we should do.
Yeah.
So that's $50 less than we originally thought, which then became Zelda. So it's still right back up to $350. But actually, I'm buying the $100 Zelda. So who knows? All right, man. You got any other thoughts on it?
I don't, man. I think we covered more than enough. It's going to be cool. I can't wait for it. I'm really excited. It's going to be out about a month and a half. So.
Yeah, I mean the days are counting down. This is probably the shortest time between. Here's what your system is. Here's what you've got it. And I'm like, I'm used to waiting like another year. Like Super Nintendo's coming out. We find out in like '93, and we're waiting until 95 for it to come out. And we're like,
yeah. Now
we're gonna have it. Month and a half. Not even a 6-month wait like we're used to from E3 or something.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, you can find us on Twitter at Zenspath, ZENSPATH. I'm on there a lot, talking to a lot of the people on there. One last thing we forgot to mention, the internal memory, which 32 gigs built in with a micro SD slot, card slot for expansion, which it supports the HTC and HTXC formats, which are supposed to go up to like 2 terabyte cards eventually.
That's crazy.
Right now, they're mostly showing like the 526 gig. I originally thought Nintendo said that was the max it could be, but I'm getting conflicting reports now. One of the people I talked to on Twitter kind of pointed that out. So my information may have been bad on that one. Which I'll
526 gig is a good start.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get out of the 200 gig like I haven't put it in there, and I'm already good. Because remember, you don't have to install anything, and the games are on the cartridge, so the majority of your memory storage is just gonna be game saves and DLC.
Or virtual consoles. Yeah.
Right. So even 32 gigs is going to last you a while.
Yeah.
And then if you slap a card in there, and it's really easy to change it out. Like if you have a 200 gig card, like, oh, I filled it out, get another one. you're already carrying on the cartridges. Just they pop in and out really quick. It'd be like we've kind of inverted memory cards. Like they used to be really big, like cartridge size. Then we had the PlayStation ones, and they got the GameCube, and they kept getting smaller and smaller until they finally became digital and they didn't exist. Now it's inverted. Now they're super tiny, but even more capacity. So like we've crossed over the threshold. So, all right. Well, like I said, I mentioned on Twitter. Of course, you can talk to us on Facebook on the Zenspath Zenspath page on Facebook, as well as finding our stuff on Zenspath.com or listen to us on iTunes. Brent, you got anything to plug? Your artwork?
Not really. I have sadly not been on the social medias in a while. Been extremely hectic and busy, but eventually you can probably click or find anything off the Zenspath page. You can find the Insomniacs Arts page and whatnot. But
about to say your Instagram.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's Insomniacs Art Instagram. You can pretty much just be able to find all that information going through the Zenspath page and whatnot. So
right.
It's just easier that way. Eventually, we're going to start playing with the Google Hangout again, where we did the overlays. I was kind of looking at that. I couldn't find it again, but we'll get to that. We're rushing to hurry to throw this together to get it going on. It's conflicting schedules with everybody, but hey, at least we got to knock this out and got to do it.
Right.
I am using the camera. I like this one a lot better. It doesn't look so glitchy in 56K.
Is this the one This is the one I let you borrow?
Yeah, this is the Logitech one, even though I think I'm going to look at the other one and rebuild the computer that our chat room guy, Jay Zilla here, has helping me out with. So hopefully, as you're talking about, you're going to be moving, getting a better studio and better quality and whatnot. Hopefully on my side of the world, I too will be having a little bit better production capabilities and whatnot. And, that's the other thing that is going to help do these shows a little bit more too. So. But yeah, that's all I got. Can't wait to get the Switch and become a zombie.
Yeah, we'll be doing all the shows like this.
That's my hairline.
They'll know we're going bald faster than we will. So,
I'll wear a hat.
All right. Well, I've been your host,
Mario hat.
Yeah, I've been your host, Jeremy Powers, and this has been Brent. Thanks for helping.
No problem.
And that's it. Have a good one.
See ya.
Peace.